Why is the moon so lonely? It's because of harmless phosphorescence! Hello, everybody! This is your host, Rose Smiley, and I'm fixing to do a bad thing. Who's joining me this week?
I'm Josh CC, and you can call me the Tween Wolverine.
Great. I'm stuck on a podcast with 5 guys on a high-protein diet. I'm Brian Lesh.
I'm Jerry Wagner, and that's a big ol' ass coming out of the front of his shirt.
I'm Alaric Weber, and I have the fingernails of a bag lady.
Props.
And this is Harmless Phosphorescence. This is the podcast where we watch every theatrically released full-length live-action superhero movie ever made. We gather some research into the production and the source material, then we tell you all about it. This show, it is brought to you by our patrons. Patrons like executive producers Michael Beckwith and Atticus Burkett. You can be a patron too. Go to patreon.com/harmlessentertainment. You only need to give us $1 a month to be part of all of the fun, the amazing shows that we have for you on there. We've got Star Wars miniseries. We have music podcasts. We have weekly music ones we put on there, monthly movies. Which reminds me, our monthly movie for April, I have the announcement.
Oh, wow.
It is now official.
The envelope, please.
Yes. Our April monthly movie for the year of 2015, because every month we choose a year randomly, and then we all nominate a movie, and then we let Twitter and Facebook decide what that movie's going to be out of the 4 we nominate. This month it is The Martian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh. Poopy potatoes.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, there's some prestige there. That was a good movie.
That was a good movie.
Oscars.
I like that movie a lot. I read the book too.
Yeah.
This is really good. Really good. So we'll be doing that for April. You only need to give us $1 a month, and you can watch all of our past monthly movies. We've got we got Bubba Hotep on there. We've got The Life of Brian, Independence Day,
Demolition Man.
Yeah,
we've done some American Graffiti just recently, and that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
More than I even expected.
Yeah, it was. Oh, Gremlins and Gremlins 2.
Oh, my God. The new batch.
Yeah. So head on over there, $1 a month, patreon.com/harmless entertainment. Be a patron, guys. At the hop. Be a patron at the hop. But that brings us to this week on Harmless Phosphorescence. We are going to be watching X-Men Origins Wolverine.
All the horrible things in your life. Your father. The wars. Knowing that the woman you loved was hunted down. I can make all this go away. Putting together a special team. With special privileges. Join me, but you will have your revenge.
I want new ones.
And what do you want him to say?
Wolverine.
Become the animal. Embrace the other side.
I think he heard you.
Don't worry, we'll stop him.
You just spent $500 million making him indestructible. I know who you are, Gambit. I'm coming for blood. No code of conduct. No law.
know how to kill me.
I'm gonna cut your head off. See if that works.
X-Men Origins.
That was weird tag at the end.
Oh yeah. Wow. X-Men Origins Wolverine. I can't believe they had like the this movie was released May 1st, 2009. Had a running time of 107 minutes. It cost $150 million. And it took in $373 million. So it did okay. Wasn't a runaway blockbuster, but it made its money back.
Yeah, enough to keep rolling.
Yeah.
They keep making them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, not keep making X-Men Origins movies, but...
No.
Well, The Wolverine is an extension of this, right? It's a sequel?
They made The Wolverine, and then, of course, Logan is considered the Wolverine trilogy.
Right.
But they had intended to keep making X-Men Origins movies about all the different X-Men, and
you can tell.
Yeah, because this movie wasn't the runaway success they thought it was going to be. They did not. And speaking of runaway successes, why don't we play the box office top 10 game?
Yeah.
Here it is,
All
guys.
right, give us the week again. Pardon me.
Yeah, May 1st, 2009. So
1st, 2009.
That's right. So this is the game where what we do is I let the guys guess where they think this movie opened, and then I count down the top 10 movies of the week using only the Box Office Mojo description, except that is a lie, because I change the description often to hide what the movie is, and then the guys try to guess what the movie is I'm describing. So why don't we go ahead? We let our guests go first here. Jerry, where do you think this movie opened in the top 10 of the week of May 1st, 2009?
Man, this is kind of hard because I got married this week in 2009. So I wasn't even watching movies. I was like freaking out about irrevocably changing my life.
Wow. Did you get married in a screening of X-Men Origins Wolverine?
Outside next door at the AMPM, actually. Yeah. It's where we met.
The origin of our marriage.
Yeah, she was working there and I was stealing Arizona iced teas. But I would say it was in the top 10. It'd probably be, if it doubled, maybe 3. I'm going to be conservative and say 3.
All right, Jerry goes 3.
3's a solid, yeah.
Yeah, safe.
Let's go with Al next.
I like to, decide mine after Al decides his.
I'm going to guess number 1. Maybe it surprised everybody opening weekend.
Al goes number 1. Josh, what you thinking?
I think Al's right, but I'll jump over. I'll go 4.
All right.
Just some prices right bidding there.
Do it. All right. And Brian, what are you guessing?
Did somebody already take number 2?
No, 2 is open.
On my dick.
All right. Brian going number 2. All right. So let's jump into this. This is the box
While
office.
we speak.
Yeah.
That's the blanket.
There it is. The box office top 10. Coming in at number 10. When a congressional aide is killed, a Washington, D.C. journalist starts investigating the case involving the representative, his old college friend.
Ooh.
Fight Club. I don't know.
Frenemy of the state.
This frenemy of the state. The state's just not that into you.
No.
This stars Russell Crowe and Ben Affleck.
Says you.
It's called State of Play. And some like
the new batch.
Yeah, the pig in the city.
Got the hop.
On my dick. Coming in at number 9. In New York City, a young counterfeiter is introduced to the world of underground street fighting by a seasoned...
Stay in your lane, bro.
Right? I was expecting that to be like underground street dancing or underground street racing, but nope, just straight up fighting. By a seasoned scam artist who becomes his manager on the bare-knuckling brawling circuit.
We should be kissing instead of fighting. Why aren't we kissing more?
I would think if you're mildly successful at printing your own money, you wouldn't have to fix fights.
Right.
This stars Channing Tatum.
Ooh. I'm listening.
It's a one-word title. Guys,
Fist.
just fist. All right, Al,
Fist.
throw out a word. Any word.
Punch.
Jerry,
Potato.
Brian.
Gawk.
And the password is
Fighting. It's called fighting.
it's literally called
Should've
fighting.
got that.
What
damn.
is? I don't even know.
It's marketed at people who are punch drunk.
Just let's go see
What's
fighting.
a movie about? Fighting.
Fighting, not
Fighting
kissing.
good.
That's my movie. And last week it was number 3. It fell from 3 to 9. Coming in at number 8. Oh boy. Okay. As a pop star's popularity begins to take over her life, her alter ego, on the urging from her father, takes a trip to her hometown of Crowley Corners, Tennessee, to get some perspective on what matters in life the most.
The Hannah Montana movie.
Boom! And Al
Yep.
gets himself a Miley Cyrus point.
I came in like a wrecking ball.
Yeah, you did. Beautiful.
Al, yeah, that's an achy breaky point you get, Al.
Yeah.
It's like Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Don't tell my point.
My achy.
Don't tell. It's
Don't.
all about secrecy.
It really is. Why are you keeping secrets from your heart, Billy Ray? Don't you trust it?
All right.
Coming in at number 7. A feature-length version of a documentary following the migration paths of 4 animal families.
What?
Are we there yet?
It's
Are
me,
we-
Margaret.
X-Men Origins Chocolate Rain.
David
Are we there?
Attenborough's Migration.
No, but that's
Is
the
it?
closest yet, Al.
Disney's migration?
No. This is just called Earth.
Oh.
Jesus.
It's the prequel to Battlefield Earth.
They fight and they
Which
fuck
is
the
this-
planet all up. Yeah.
This is before that volcano goes off and all the thetans come out.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right before that.
Yeah. My
Fighting
favorite part.
Earth.
Fighting Earth.
Coming in at number 6. A newspaper journalist discovers a homeless musical genius and tries to improve his situation. I remember
The
this one.
cellist.
No.
Yeah, I remember this.
No,
The
no.
soloist.
Yeah, Brian, you get 1 point. A solo point.
One crack
solo-
cocaine point.
Yeah. This is RDJ and Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a great movie.
It's pretty good, yeah.
I had kids at the time, so number 5 is closer to what I was watching. A woman transformed into a giant after she is struck by a meteorite on her wedding day becomes part of a team of monsters sent in by the U.S. government to defeat an alien mastermind trying to take over Earth.
Oh, yeah.
Monsters
Fucking-
versus Aliens?
Yes, Al
Yeah.
gets it. Monsters versus aliens. There was also,
DreamWorks.
DreamWorks. There was Monsters versus Aliens, Cowboys versus Aliens.
Aliens.
Yeah.
Aliens versus aliens.
Aliens.
There was Roe v. Wade.
This
v.
is-
Alien.
This is the weirdest sequel to that Charlize Theron movie. Monster.
David Attenborough versus aliens.
Oh, monster.
Yes.
Monster versus alien.
Predator versus aliens.
Wait, can we do Monsters Ball versus aliens?
Well,
Or just Billy Bob Thornton fucks
All right.
the alien?
wait.
Yep.
So we have Predator versus aliens, Monsters versus aliens, Cowboys versus aliens. I want to see Monsters versus Cowboys, and then Predator versus Monsters.
I think it's funny if one title just keeps adding versus.
Monsters versus aliens versus Cowboys
Versus
versus
predators
Predators
versus cowboys.
versus Charlize Theron.
at the hop.
B. Wade.
On my dick. Monsters versus Wade.
I would like to refer to the case of the state of New Jersey versus.
What was? Wait. What was that 1970s movie? The Kramer versus Kramer. That's right, Kramer versus aliens.
Or it'd be some kind of monster versus Kramer.
Predator v. Predator.
It's Kramer from Seinfeld.
And he's just, I want him fighting Metallica. That's where I'm doing that.
I never saw that movie. Which Kramer killed the other Kramer?
Meryl Streep wears Dustin Hoffman's skin.
Yep.
Yeah.
To this day.
To this day.
That's how she becomes such a chameleon in all her roles.
The headdress.
I did not realize this was a QAnon podcast. I didn't know.
Oh, wow.
Coming in at number 4, Mike O'Donnell is ungrateful for how his life turned out. I wish that was the end of it. He gets a chance to rewrite his life when he tries to save a janitor near a bridge and jumps after him into a time vortex.
It's a wonderful time vortex.
Wow, I did not see that coming. I thought it was different.
Mike versus the janitor.
The janitor versus gravity.
I'm sorry.
I think this is a remake, kind of a
Yeah,
of a Corey Haim movie.
Shit,
I forgot
this is
to include the volcano versus.
This has a
Right.
what's the name of that kid? Efron, Zac Efron, and Chandler from Friends.
Isn't this that football movie
From Friends.
that had Dick Tracy? Is this remade?
Oh, where they switch Freaky Friday style or something?
Yeah, it's
Pissing in a fountain or something.
it's 17 again.
Watching Magic Mike in a lightning storm.
Yeah,
17 again.
it was
Watching Magic Mike in a lightning storm. It's just two bros in a storm watching Magic Mike.
Is 17 again the title of this film?
Yeah, 17 again is the title of the film. Yeah, so you guys lost out on 17 points.
Damn.
Again.
You lost out again. Number 3, a successful asset. Okay, so doing the box office top 10 game has shown me how many movies have one-word titles that are impossible to remember.
Were you about to say successful astronaut?
No. I wasn't astronaut. I stopped mid-word, but yes.
Okay.
A successful...
Just a successful ass.
Yeah. A successful asset manager. What is an asset manager?
I mean, an astronaut, fuel and supplies are assets, right?
Right.
Yeah.
They depreciate.
Literally any
Go
physical...
off on my long-standing tangent on unsuccessful astronauts.
I thought it was going to be on asset managers.
An asset manager. Yeah, it's people that are so wealthy that somebody needs to look after their shit because they can't.
Yeah, no, I get that. I thought you were going to say you were going to go off on your rant about your asset managers. All
right, let's do it.
All right.
I'll wing it, but I got opinions.
A successful asset manager who has just received a huge promotion is blissfully happy in his career and in his marriage. But when a temp worker starts stalking him, all the things he's worked so hard for are placed in jeopardy.
This Mr. Brooks.
No, but Beyonce is in this.
Oh.
Austin Powers 3.
Idris Elba and Beyonce is what stars.
Oh,
really?
Is this Hitch?
No.
Is this
It's a one-word title.
Jeopardy?
No.
It's called Jeopardy?
What was Celebrity
Wheel
Jeopardy?
of Fortune, one word.
What'd you say, Al?
Stalked.
No, but that's the closest so far. Any guesses, Jerry?
There's a Stork movie, right?
Me out 9/11.
Part 2.
Part 2.
New blood. No.
Whoops, I did it again.
9/11-2, Pig in the City. This is called Obsessed.
Yeah. What a weird week, man.
Yeah. Coming in at number 2, opening this week, while attending his brother's wedding, a serial womanizer is haunted by See, if I say that, it's just the title of the film.
Oh, yeah, it's Ghosts of Girlfriends Past or something?
Yeah,
Or
Ghost,
like the
exactly.
Bodies.
Yeah, it's a McConaughey.
Someone found the bodies.
Yeah, McConaughey 2000s rom-com. Is that, and with Jennifer Garner, of course.
I remember this, yeah, and all the ghosts
Yeah.
of his ex-girlfriends were massacred.
That he murdered? Like, what?
Yeah, I was gonna say
Exactly.
like the Ted Bundy story, Ghosts of Girlfriend's Past. Ted Bundy.
Or more like The Exorcist, he's possessed by one of them. And then he finds out what women want.
Oh, you remember? Oh, that Mel Gibson movie was so
Pockets and
awful.
dresses.
Mostly to not be murdered.
Mostly
I
it's
think.
pockets and
Women.
dresses, yeah.
Yeah, pockets and
Yeah.
dresses. Second, don't murder me.
Yeah,
Two.
that's
Yeah.
really it.
Yeah.
Pockets and dresses.
And at number 1, the early years of Jimmy, featuring his rivalry with his brother Victor.
Jimmy.
It's the story of
Oh,
Jimmy and
sweet
Victor
Jesus.
at number 1.
Jimmy and Vic.
Better Call
Jimmy?
Saul, the film.
Yeah.
Jimmy. Jimmy and Vic.
Yeah.
High school reunion.
Migrating across the USA.
X-Men Origins Wolverine at number 1, and that is our box office top 10 for the week.
Al. What does Al win?
Al wins a
I know.
point.
He wins an origin story.
At the hop.
I've been waiting for one.
He wins the chance to tell us about the comic background of these characters. Al, will you bring it?
I will. You will find yourself served.
Al versus us versus the volcano.
Celebrate good
Versus
times.
Jimmy.
I will.
Yep.
All right, so we have talked about Wolverine and Sabretooth before, a la the first X-Men movie. But this is our origin story, sort of. There was a graphic novel, Origin, the True Story of Wolverine, is a 6-issue limited series first published from November 2001 to July 2002. Written by Bill Jamas, or Hamas, I don't know, Joe Quesada and Paul Jenkins, with art by Andy Kubert and Richard Eisenove.
Mm-hmm.
We discover Wolverine was born James Howlett, second son to John and Elizabeth Howlett. He was a child of privilege living in Alberta, Canada. He was also a sickly child, prone to allergies and malaise.
Malaise.
The Vapors.
Very sad.
I just don't care anymore. Fuck it all.
Yeah.
Sad Wolverine. Oh.
I love that. Yeah, it starts out with the title card, 1845. And then the kid's like, "You're always sick." It's like, we're all always sick, dude.
It's
1845. Yeah.
Give me a fucking break here.
So James's bone claws are first revealed right after the death of his father at the hands of disgruntled groundskeeper Thomas Logan, who was subsequently killed by James.
Disgruntled groundskeeper?
Yep.
In Alberta. How did he know when to stop? Just keeps mowing.
It's all ground up there.
There are 2 points the book hints at, but is not explicit. Number 1, as mentioned, James had an older brother, John, who died in 1897 around the age of 12. So that was the only hint at the timeline in the book, that a few years prior, his older brother died in 1897. So it was around the turn of the century, not 1845.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Civil War shot, man.
Yeah, they had to throw in the Civil War for the movie.
Right. Well, yeah,
it's-
they abandoned their sense of time pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So in reading this, it seemed to me that James never knew his brother, that perhaps his brother died sometime before James was born. John may have had the same bone claw mutant power as James, but did not survive when his trait first manifested. That's just what it seems to me. It's unclear. But
Okay, yeah.
Well,
the
because
second point,
unfortunately for him, it wasn't in his hands. that the bone claw came out.
When he got his first- I used to call it the bone claw. Yeah.
Point number 2, James and his dead brother may or may not have been sired by the groundskeeper, Thomas
Willie.
Logan.
I just want you to say Willie every time, Al.
I almost wrote that down when I was making my notes.
Yeah. And I guess back then, groundskeepers had tenure. You couldn't just fire this early.
I'd be like,
Possibly sleeping with your wife.
No, it'd be a hell of a lawsuit in groundskeeper court.
sure,
It's
he's.
like, why don't you go to Quebec? You
Part
son
of the
a
union.
bitch. Yeah.
I'll murder you, eh?
Thomas Logan actually perpetrated his home invasion just after getting fired and thrown off the property.
Oh, shit.
Elizabeth,
That's law
she
for
shot
you.
herself. Elizabeth shot herself immediately after the deaths of both John and Thomas. Hard to say who she was more distraught at having lost. Anyway,
It is
James.
very hard to say.
Shall we take bets?
Bet to your heart's content.
All right.
James and his companion Rose flee to British Columbia, Rose having been implicated in the murder of the Howletts and Logan, and James repressing most memories of the event and his former life. James heals miraculously during the journey. Seeking work at a quarry, Rose says James's name is Logan as a cover.
So, okay, other than the bone claws so far, this is reading like more like a Jane Austen novel or something.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And they put it on screen a little bit. You know, they were going for that. Sorry.
Just a little bit. Embracing his new identity, Logan grows to manhood at the quarry under the guidance of the quarry foreman. He is eventually nicknamed Wolverine by fellow workers because he is such a good digger.
Yes.
As
Laws?
Well,
With his
well,
bone claw?
with a shovel. With a shovel.
because Wolverines are related to badgers, not wolves, which is something I'll bring back later when we're talking about the movie. Please continue.
Oh, it's in my notes. It's in my notes.
So good. The next guy was like, damn, my name has to be
Gopher.
Squirrel because they jumped the gun and gave this guy Wolverine.
Yeah.
But I'm awesome at digging too.
As if by instinct, Logan, occasionally sneaks off into the woods to hunt with wolves.
All right.
Okay. But not
Humble
badgers.
Victor Creed. No, you don't hunt.
Not badgers. Nobody eats with them.
Wolverine.
I'm a honey badger from way back.
Victor Creed, a.k.a. Sabretooth, is not mentioned once in the book.
Good.
Damn.
Yeah, because
Always a bridesmaid, dude. Always a bridesmaid. You know?
Yeah.
Never a Wolverine.
He never
All
got to
right.
get his nails did.
No.
All right.
Sorry.
We got new characters. Wade Wilson / Deadpool. We're going to talk about him at great length when we get to the Deadpool solo movie. So let's skip him because
yes.
the ultimate treatment of the Deadpool character in this movie sucked balls.
Yeah, this
So
is
bad.
not Deadpool.
No.
All right. We've got John Wraith. First appeared in Wolverine Volume 2, number 48, September 1991. A
Who's
part
he?
of... I'm sorry?
Who is he? Sorry.
John Wraith. Yeah, I'm getting to that. A part of military Black Ops Squad Team X alongside Wolverine, Sabretooth, Maverick, Mastodon, and Silver Fox. Team X was founded in the 60s. Wraith was a powerful teleporter, phase jumping without flashy bursts of light and sound, and he had an anti-aging factor, aging slower than normal. A lot of the members of Team X were given this anti-aging factor
Because
through the Weapon X program.
You know, they really could have just made a lot of money and been if they just shared the anti-aging factor with the public at large.
Oh my
Yeah.
had Gwyneth Paltrow sell it to you or something.
You put it in your vagina.
God. Never get old again.
It's rejuvenating.
Re-vaginating.
Could you leave the meeting, please?
Understood.
Next, we're moving on to Silver Fox. That was their name, just Silver Fox.
Yep.
She first appeared
Steve
in
Martin.
She first appeared in Wolverine Volume 2, Number 10, August 1989. A member of the Blackfoot tribe, grew up in the Canadian Rockies in the Yukon.
Yes, a Native American indigenous character. Let's emphasize that.
Right. With Paul Newman, like blue eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Just like the woman from Wicked Prayer, The Crow. Wicked Prayer.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yes.
The Native American with the bright blue eyes.
Very egregious. Yeah.
She cohabitated with Logan in the 50s after Logan was accepted into the tribe. She was brutally killed by Victor Creed on Logan's birthday. Happy birthday, bro.
He waited.
To that day, he waited. He just hung out. He did. All right, here we go.
Sabretooth often would attack Wolverine on Logan's birthday.
I didn't know that.
Like every year, that was his recurring thing. Yeah, we covered that back on X-Men.
That's so passive aggressive.
Yeah,
it is.
Totally. Fist in a box.
Oh no! That's so funny. Okay.
Okay. Silver Fox. Oh, that's yeah, she was brutally killed. Logan tried but failed to kill Victor in revenge. Silver Fox resurfaced in the 60s to join Team X. This Fox had
which was Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young.
And Fox.
And Fox.
Yeah.
And Maverick.
And
this Fox had retractable claws and was given a healing and anti-aging factor by the Weapon X program. She would later join Hydra. After her second death, it was suggested that this Silver Fox was either a clone or an impersonator.
And Hydra later became Jefferson Starship.
Right. It actually became Hydro when she was selling her anti-aging creams.
Was Silver Fox's mutant ability to be a hot old lady? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
That joke did not land.
No, but I was
welcome.
with you. I was with you the whole time. The best I could think of was Steve Martin, but
I know, right? Yeah, she's Silver Fox.
Yeah,
it's like a 70-year-old lady in a Tesla.
My spirit animal's a cougar.
There's wine in my purse.
It's 1 o'clock somewhere.
Gotta live, laugh, love, kids.
Frederick Dukes, a.k.a. The Blob. As a comics character, he first appeared in X-Men number 3, January 1964. Originally depicted as an obese circus freak, Dukes was invited to join the X-Men, but refused, saying he was better than the other X-Men. After attacking Xavier's school with his carnival, he would be recruited into the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants.
Wait, attacking with a carnival?
Yeah,
it's an illegal use of carnival.
He's like, take these large overstuffed animals, which you'll never win.
Is this him and 5 guys with mullets?
Yep.
Yeah.
Just not oiling up mechanisms
and wrenches and
spitting Kodiak on you, just spitting chewing tobacco in your face.
Lots of meth.
Oh yeah, that's their mutant ability. Is meth.
Yep, that's a lot of people's mutant ability.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's like the opposite,
but not
of
blobs.
Not blobs.
Blob claims to be immovable when he so desires. His extreme amount of body mass granting him superhuman strength, and he has nearly impenetrable skin.
Okay, because I was going to say, how did he do that nifty trick before he became the Blob? When he was still Tank Puncher.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
At least that point in the movie made sense. Christopher Bradley, Bolt. He first appeared in X-Men Unlimited number 8, October of 1995. He had the power to absorb and manipulate electricity, even to the point of transforming his entire body into an electrical charge. Or electrical energy.
And he also helped take the ring to Mordor.
He did.
Yeah. Remy LeBeau, Gambit.
Wait, what was the dude's hit song? Because he was on Lost as well, and he was in that band.
Oh, Charlie. It
wasn't coming all, yeah. Huh?
No, it was
Come on, everybody.
Come on,
Yeah.
everybody. Yes.
Come on,
Yeah.
everybody.
You all, everybody.
You all, everybody.
That's
This is
right.
Charlie from Lost and
He's
Kimi.
Charlie.
Sorry, I don't. But it is Kimi from Lost too. It's two guys from Lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just wanted to watch Lost.
You all, everybody.
All right. Remy LeBeau, Gambit, first appeared in Uncanny X-Men Annual number 14, July of 1990. He can convert the potential energy of inanimate objects into kinetic energy. One of his favorite tactics is turning playing cards into explosive projectiles. He prefers smaller objects because of the time required to charge larger objects. Gambit can manipulate the kinetic energy in objects and himself, granting him superhuman strength, speed, reflexes, and agility, as well as giving his bow staff enough power to take down a house. Gambit's charged potential energy allows him to shield his mind from even the most powerful telepaths. And he possesses a superhuman hypnotic charm that allows him to subtly influence the thoughts and actions of others.
Wow. I didn't know. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that was new to me.
I was pretty sure his main powers were just throwing cards and saying "Mon cher,"
Right.
according to the '90s X-Men cartoon.
And cool gloves. That was his other powers. He had cool gloves.
Yeah, he had fingerless gloves.
Yeah, there's nothing.
Let him on the team. He's got the gloves.
He had a mutant Cajun accent factor.
Yeah, he did.
Yep. A guarantee.
Yeah, I was gonna say salt potato chips. Yeah.
Yep.
Crawdad.
Mon cher. Yeah. Well, 90 was when I started not having money for comic or needing it for food more.
Right. Yeah.
So I didn't read a lot about Gambit. Yeah. Huh.
Neither did
All
I.
right.
And finally, we have Agent Zero, real name Christoph Nord. He first appeared in X-Men Volume 2, Number 5, February of 1992. His mutant ability, his mutant ability was to absorb kinetic energy through impact with little to no effect. He was Maverick when he was on Team X with the others, with Ginger and the Professor.
Wait, so you could punch him and he just wouldn't? He'd just be like, "Thank you."
Yeah,
He's
Like,
like
he wouldn't
vibranium.
move.
kind of,
Yeah, but in the movie, he just was. His immune ability was shooting.
and jumping.
He was Shooter.
and tossing.
He was Shooter McGavin.
tossing
in the
and
movie.
catching guns.
Jumping and tossing and catching. He was,
No, but that turned.
He was like LeBron.
But that turned into be a popular power. A lot of people do that. Even Agatha was doing that in WandaVision. The last, I'll take your power, absorb it, throw it back at you. I'm realizing as you're reading this out, the mutants in this movie all had not just similar powers, almost the same powers.
Yeah.
Like you keep reading, like he could absorb potential energy and turn it into kinetic, and or he can heal. They're all the same mutants except for Fatty.
I mean, and transporty guy.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Lincoln.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Dawned on me.
No, it's a good point. He was also granted a slight healing factor from the Weapon X program, but not to the degree as Wolverine and Sabretooth.
So as much as anyone, right?
Yeah.
We all heal.
Yeah, we all have a healing factor.
Yeah,
But slightly better than ours.
just a little bit though.
But
Just
there's a scale, a Dianetics type scale.
We call it the boo-boo factor.
Christoph Nord, after dying of the legacy virus, being resurrected and forced to rejoin the Weapon X program, he adopted the alias of Agent Zero. His kinetic energy powers were enhanced, and he was given corrosive fingertips specifically designed to counteract an opponent's self-healing abilities.
That's a dick move.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that was pretty much it.
All right. Thank you, Al. Yeah. And on top of that, there were a lot of cameo mutants, which we'll get to as we go through the film. That brings us to the production background here. So This movie, it was directed by by Gavin Hood.
Who dat?
Yeah, Gavin Hood has a long and illustrious career. He's best known, other than this movie, for directing A Reasonable Man in 1999, Ender's Game, the 2013 Ender's Game. Yeah, and let's see, he did a bunch of Stargate SG-1 episodes. Operation Delta Force 3.
This felt like that title.
Yeah, for sure. Livewire 2. The Redemption, Kickboxer 5. So he does a lot of sequels of really like shitty, like Steven Seagal and like Project Shadow Chaser 2. Like
what's that?
Project.
That sounds like something written on the bottom of a skateboard you buy from Walmart.
Like it has a grant attached to it.
Wait.
Shadow Chaser.
This is
Project.
Project Shadow Chaser 2. This is the description of that film. Terrorists led by an android take over a nuclear plant and threaten to launch a missile at Washington.
I have so many questions about that.
Dude, somebody fell down and hit their head really hard and came up with a movie. Like they came back and they're like, listen, this android, they're going to fuck Washington up. I know.
Like
a hammer fell on my head.
Terrorism requires an ideology. Does this android have an ideology?
Right. Why can't you just send him in?
Yeah.
Why does he need the middleman of a rocket?
Android supremacy now.
Yeah. What movie was this?
Project Shadow Chaser 2. He maybe just had a right. I think
you could have told him anything.
I think he maybe just has a writing credit on it.
And an acting credit.
Oh, an acting credit. Okay. Okay, so this was written at a screenplay by David Benioff, best known as the man who destroyed Game of Thrones.
Well, it was before he met his partner, David Weiss, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
So David Benioff has a really weird history. First off, he was born to like the son of Stephen Friedman, the head of Goldman Sachs. Mm-hmm. So that's where that dude comes from. He started off as a writer, not a screenwriter, a writer. His first novel was The 25th Hour, which was made into a film, which was directed
by Spike Lee, right?
By Spike Lee, yeah. Which is how he got involved in the film industry.
It's an interesting story. The movie didn't really land, but the guy who's going to jail the next day, like has to report to prison, and so it's his last day. It's interesting.
I don't think I've ever seen that one actually. So yeah, then Benioff, he has writing credits on Troy. Gemini Man is his most recent writing credit. That Will Smith is young and old movie. Mm-hmm. But other than that, he's mostly known as Game of Thrones dude, along with Weiss. I don't know. The less said about that, the better. We all know what happened there. We also have a credit for Skip Woods on this, a writing credit for Skip Woods. Skip Woods was a writer for Swordfish. Oh my God, Skip Woods looks like
Swordfish.
He looks like the sixth Baldwin brother. Like the bat.
Zeppo.
Yeah, no, take a look at that dude. Skip Woods.
He does.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's like their
Skip
uncle.
Woods.
Yeah.
He's the Baldwin uncle, the one who gave them all cigarettes.
And trauma.
Yeah.
And
he has writing credits on Swordfish, the Hitman movie that was the from the video game. The A-Team movie, A Good Day to Die Hard. So that's what he does. He does those like PG-13 action movies. Let's see. The cast. We've talked about Hugh Jackman a number of times. We wouldn't go back into his thing again. This is our first time talking about Liev Schreiber on this. I know,
really?
Josh, you covered him briefly on
Yeah, on the Scream.
Our screen, our patron-only screen miniseries.
Yeah, he's a phenomenal actor, and yeah, I don't know. He had a good look, so I'm sure they looked at his headshot and were like, "Yeah, great, Sabretooth."
Yeah,
or whatever.
Yeah, and he was fine. He was fine in the role, and he, like Liev Schreiber in general, I like. He has an interesting past. So, his mom was kidnapped him when he was a small child after she got out of hospitalization for therapy related to a bad experience on LSD.
Wow.
Wow.
She took him, ran away to the Lower East Side of Manhattan, where they lived without electricity, hot water, or beds. And then that's how he grew up. While she like did art installations and street art and stuff. He joined the Joffrey Ballet School of New York.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's described his mother as a far-out socialist Labor Party hippie bohemian freak who hung out with William Burroughs.
How polite of him.
Yeah.
Because so many other words could have been used to describe her.
Exactly. So yeah, Liev Schreiber. We got Danny Houston as William Stryker. Danny Houston is the brother of Angelica Houston. Son.
Whoa.
Yep.
Okay.
Son.
I never knew that.
It all just came, dude. You just Kaiser Soze'd me.
Yep.
It all came into place now. It all clicked in.
Son of John Houston.
He's the son of John Houston. He's been such a sort of a B character actor all of his life.
Yeah. He never like broke into like the A ranks ever, but he's part of that dynasty.
That's wild.
Yeah. Will I Am as John Wraith. Best known as the guy from the Black Eyed Peas. Will I Am. Tonight's going to be a good night.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did a good job.
He came up. He came up on the east side of LA, and his first group. Well, so he came up. As a self-described rave kid in the early '90s. But
a lot of people self-describe.
Yeah. But so his first recording is on a Dr. Dre collection of local rap artists, and his song, the song that Will I Am recorded for Dr. Dre, is "Have a Merry Motherfucking Christmas."
Nice.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Let's see.
Same to you, Will. Same to you.
Right.
Well, yeah, that group was one of those put together groups. Fergie was like a Disney Channel kid, right?
That was,
Kids Incorporated or something.
Their history is wild because she wasn't in their very first album is really good, actually. Their very first one is like more like Souls of Mischief underground hip hop. And then they threw a bunch of money at them and they were like, okay, let's get retarded in here.
Right. No, exactly.
Yeah,
Black Eyed Peas were like a legit like hip hop group, and then they decided to just say fuck it, let's sell out and get rich.
Yeah,
which
good for them.
In.
Do it.
Yeah, I want my chance.
Fuck yeah. Lynn Collins.
She shitted on my dick.
Shitted on their dicks, and they all made a bunch of money. They took it all to the bank. All the shit.
Like a human Pez dispenser.
Put all that shit and all them dicks in a bag. We're eating lobster tonight.
Show me where to sign.
Lynn Collins plays Native American character Kayla Silverfox. Lynn Collins, of Irish ancestry, born in Texas. Let's see, she was on True Blood. She was in the John Carter movie. I don't know. She's been in a bunch of. She's like the third build person in a bunch of stuff. Mm-hmm. She's back in the. She's back in the Wolverine. Go ahead, Josh.
Oh, she is as the same character.
Yeah,
Silverfox?
In a flashback. Yeah.
I hate it when a mutant's ability involves skin-to-skin contact, but they can do it no matter what. Sweatshirts.
Oh pants, yeah.
Shoes. It's just so. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I wrote my congressman, but I thought I'd tell you guys too.
And he didn't even listen, did he? He didn't even give a fuck. No.
Nope. He took the mask mandate out.
Yeah, he got rid of the mask mandate. Exactly. He's like, you know what, Josh? We're all getting COVID now.
I'll see your problem with another one.
This role of Native American character Kayla Silverfox was also offered to Michelle Monaghan of Irish-German ancestry from Iowa.
Oh, jeez.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah. So they're like, fine, if you won't do it,
we'll get another Irish chick.
It looks exactly like you.
I'd like to point out that
They should have gotten Jamie Farr.
Yes. Yes. That's why I'm not a successful producer in Hollywood, because I'm always trying to get Jamie Farr in there.
I'd like to point out
And the solid gold dancers.
Yeah, her sister in this is a blonde. So, anyways,
Yeah, she plays Emma Frost.
Yeah.
But they low-key don't even say.
Yeah.
All right, so Kevin Durand played Fred Duke / the Blob. Let's see, he's what was he in? Resident Evil Retribution. He was Gabriel in Legion. Oh, okay. He was in.
It'd be funny if it was Resident Evil Restitution.
Wow, he works. He was in Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me, Scooby-Doo 2, Monsters Unleashed, Big Mama's House 2, Wild Hogs.
Wait. Was that Big Mama House 2, Wild Hogs?
Wild Hogs?
No.
The hogs ran into her house.
She was all, dang it.
Dang it.
Who are we talking about? Who did he play?
I don't know. Kevin Durand. He was in these movies. I don't know who he played in any of them.
Okay.
And I'm not going to look it up.
Yeah, that's fine.
He was in Swamp Thing, the series. He was Jason Woodrue.
Yeah.
That was the guy who, the scientist guy who was in Batman and Robin?
Oh, that guy. Okay. He is also in 4 episodes of Voltron, Legendary Defender as King Zarkon.
He was in Lost too. I mentioned it earlier, but he was Kimi in Lost, and he always looks like he has an eye infection. This guy, like if you look at his eyes, he always looks like he's just like on the verge of pink eye. He's just ready.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to vote on conjunctivitis.
Yeah.
And the eyes have it.
Yeah.
There are a few Lost connections, and this was entirely filmed in Australia. So
Yeah.
I wonder if they were just like overflow guys on their day off.
Yeah, that happened. Maybe. Speaking of Lost, we got Dominic Monaghan.
Charlie.
Yep. He's played, I don't know, Bradley. Bradley was the name of his character. Also, Meriadoc Brandybuck in Lord of the Rings. That's probably what he's best known for. That Lost and Lord of the Rings probably is too big.
Yeah.
Well, he's also that fantastic archaeologist in The Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, that's right. Oh,
The
that's
one who
right.
knew all about all of the.
That's right.
things
He is.
that-
What was it? Dark magic, things only the Sith know.
Like, oh, I know.
He could have done so much more in this movie. I would have given him some other people's roles.
Yeah.
He is a good actor.
He's a good actor.
He's great. Taylor Kitsch as Gambit. Taylor Kitsch. He was
Who
also
the fuck is Taylor Kitsch? Go ahead. Sorry,
he's best known as Tim Riggins from Friday Night Lights, the series.
I don't know.
Very kitsch of him.
Yeah, he was in a bunch of like failed big budget movies: Battleship, John Carter, Savages. So they really tried to make him like an A-lister, but it just did
That's
not
what I was going to
take.
say. They were trying to make him a thing, and the name sounds so familiar, but I'm like, I keep picturing Zac Efron.
Yeah,
Right. It sounds like another one of those Disney breakout star names.
yeah. Well, yeah. Let's see. He was in True Detective for a while. He played.
Really?
He played. Yeah.
Oh, the second.
Yeah, second season. He played David Koresh in Waco, the Waco miniseries.
That's where I know the name. And that was
That's where, He did a pretty good job. I don't know the real David Koresh.
No, well,
but he
he's
was
just
fun
like,
to watch.
listen, guys, I gotta fuck everybody's wife here.
Right. I don't think
Sorry.
anybody knows. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Daniel Henney played Agent Zero. Let's see. He was in Seducing Mr. Perfect. Big Hero 6. Okay. The Last Stand, One Night Surprise. Wow, a bunch of movies I don't know.
I'm glad he got the work, but as Al pointed out, this character was known as Christoph Nord.
Yes, he was.
Good for this guy.
And Ryan Reynolds playing Wade Wilson. We've talked about Ryan Reynolds before. We'll just kind of skip over that. Tom Pocock as young Scott Summers. Max Collin and Julia Blake as the elderly couple.
The Kents.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Oh, that's so funny. Yes.
They find him naked in a field.
The Wolverines. Yeah.
Yep.
Aaron Jeffrey as Thomas Logan and Peter O'Brien as John Howlett.
That's groundskeeper Willie.
And then, of course, we do have Patrick Stewart in a cameo as Professor X.
A little bit of Patrick Stewart.
A little bit of We'll get to that, but that's about it for our production notes. I have a few Rotten Tomatoes reviews.
Nolan burgers.
Yes, indeed. Solomon M. writes, only a true comic book nerd can appreciate this X-Men film. 5 stars.
Thank you, Solomon.
All right, yeah.
Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, that's what Solomon says. Anonymous writes, I saw this with my best friend Joshua. When there was a fight scene, Josh would take out his foam swords and start hitting people. He then went to the front of the theater and started dancing and fighting with nobody in front of him. He then started to scream how much he loves this movie, even though it sucked ass. He got kicked out of the theater, and I didn't speak to him for a full year. 1 star.
Shit. He said he was never going to tell that story.
Yeah. I love Joshua. He's got good energy, though. That guy fucks.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Sounds like he plays by his own rules. I'd like to party with that guy.
Yeah, me too. He'll be my Koresh. Let's foam sword this shit.
And then
he brought up foam sword to the fucking movie. That is not sword related.
Not even known for swords.
Yeah.
And then
that's what I mean. That dude came to play.
Yeah, I did. Anonymous writes, very cool flick, badass, a rewatch, 3.5 out of 4 stars. This reviewer then goes to give it 5 stars. So
numbers are different where they're from.
That's about it, guys. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Andrea is claiming on the chat that she wrote that review. Was that the one about the foam swords?
Yeah.
Is she joking or is she being serious?
Yeah, she's joking because I'm named Joshua.
Oh, right.
She took you.
It was an intricate web of humor which she was weaving.
Wow.
And she never spoke to you again.
Never spoke to you again. But if you have to do with the foam swords, expect me. I'll be there.
Jerry was getting ready for his wedding this week. I was in the hospital this week. I had just been diagnosed with Crohn's.
Yeah. They don't let foam swords in the hospital.
No,
they're like no foam swords. So it's a no foam. This is a no fun zone. This is a hospital.
Yeah, that's where this says.
Does this look like a foam zone? No, it does not. It's about time, guys. Are you ready to jump into this movie?
Yeah. Well, yes. Schnick.
Yeah, I've got my bone claws out.
Yes, bub.
Wake me when it's over.
Yeah. Put some new memories in.
Right. All right, here we go. This is X-Men Origins Wolverine. We open in Canada, 1845. There's a sick child.
This is the place to be.
Yeah.
They say it's the Northwest Territories. They couldn't even get Alberta right.
Yeah.
They're like, it's Canada. Nobody knows where anything is in Canada.
Yeah, and it's for like Americans, so we're like, it's up there.
It's up there.
Yeah.
It's up there.
America's that.
Yeah, exactly.
It'll be ours soon.
Very soon.
Let's see. A sick boy named James is kept company by his friend Victor. James's dad comes in. Downstairs, there's a ruckus a brewing. It's Victor's dad. James is
Victor's just angrily whittling.
just like,
Yo,
I guess that's all you could do back then.
but also like, do you want your angry friend over when you're sick? Like,
I'm not feeling good.
Chill
Call
out,
the
dude.
asshole. Yeah.
He's whittling him a curvy shaped stick, you know?
Yep. So when this is
To look
done,
at late into the evening.
yeah. Yeah. He used to whittle his claws before he got a bone.
So James's dad runs downstairs. Then Victor's dad kills James's dad. So James runs down there. And in his grief, he grows bone claws.
Yeah. So I was trying to find a joke. I was like sitting there going, okay, sun's out, guns out. So what would this be like? Drunk paws out, claws out. I couldn't get it though, because what rhymes with claws that's appropriate?
Yeah, but drunk paws. Yeah, because
drunk paws out, claws out.
Not a pause as a paw.
Like my paws here. Let's pop them claws.
Bone claws only rhymes with menopause, so there's no jokes there.
No joke.
Menopause bone claws are no joke at all.
Yep. That joke is heavily absorbent.
So James kills Victor's dad, but not before discovering that Victor's dad is really his dad. So then why did his dad look like Hugh Jackman? And he looks like
he looked a lot like Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So then
Tale as old as time.
Right. Fathers and sons.
James
And then brothers.
Yeah. Fathers, sons, brothers. Other relationships which exist in families.
No, none.
Yeah.
Silver Fox is the only woman in this movie. I mean, yes, they're rando women. There's only one female character in this movie.
Yeah. Does this pass the Bechdel test? Did she talk to her sister about anything?
No. She just talks to Wolvie, and then that's it. Oh, and that guy in the bridge.
We speak at the end, I guess. Maybe.
Yeah.
There's the woman doctor who says, like, this is going to hurt.
Yeah,
but she's talking to Stryker.
But she doesn't talk to Kayla, though, so I don't know. All right, so James runs away into the woods. Victor follows. Victor tells him they're brothers. They got to stick together. Sticking's together, what good waffles do. And then they run away.
And we have the BFFF montage.
Yeah. Through wars of history.
Fucking friends forever.
All wars. Just all war, nothing else. Just war. That's all we do is war.
I wondered, did they re-enlist every time? Or were they drafted every time? Or did they wrote? Because we find out that Jimmy's a captain. So he's Captain Jimmy Logan.
Captain Jimmy. All wars.
Yeah.
Nothing else. Nothing else.
Just like,
that's all they did. What did they do in between wars? Like
collected their pensions from the Civil War. Are you kidding me?
They're
probably loaded.
Exactly my question. Yeah, were they military all the way through?
Yeah.
Or every time there was a new war, they were like, "What?"
They just stole some uniforms off a rack and jumped in a plane.
That's it.
And the hijinks ensue.
Yeah. Plus, you get the Sabretooth transformation where he gets more bloodthirsty, and there's the point where he's shooting the M60 out of the helicopter, and Logan's like, "That's enough, Private Sabretooth. That's enough killing for now." And
that's where he drew the line.
That whole thing where they're like, "Yo, it's Jimmy Logan and his best friend, Private Sabretooth."
Yeah, Fortunate Son's playing in the background.
Fortunate Son.
Right? And then
he's about to assault that woman.
He's about to rape her. Yeah, exactly.
Grabs the helicopter controls and turns the helicopter himself.
Yeah.
It was such a weird detail. I'm like, why does he do that? Like, why wouldn't the helicopter pilot be like, "Oh, dog, get the fuck off me."
Right.
You're going to kill all of us.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, we don't see this moment. I mean, I see the scene with the woman where he's about to assault her. That's very clear morality. But we see Wolverine just as devastating as Victor through all these wars, and then we don't see what's happening below the helicopter. But he's like, "That's enough." It's like, do you mean that's enough in Vietnam or for me? Well, it's like, what are we talking about?
What's that? There's a famous moment where a helicopter pilot turned around and I forget the name of it, but there was a battle that somebody was going ham on, and I think that they were showing that was actually Victor doing that or some shit.
I see.
All right,
okay.
So
I think the helicopter pilot won a medal for it too because he turned and burned.
He turned. He's like, I'm going to turn this helicopter around. You're killing too many.
Like, you can only shoot out of one side of this thing. You're taking a right. Somebody get that guy an award.
I've had it up to here with this Vietnam.
which I believe that was Hubert Humphrey's slogan.
Yeah.
I thought that was a Richard Nixon quote. I didn't know.
No, he's like, I can't get enough.
Yeah.
More Vietnam, please.
Yep.
Then Victor kills an officer, an American officer. Right. Victor and Jimmy are sentenced to death, but they survive the firing squad.
Yo, who do you think carved the numbers, the hash marks in the wall? Do you think it was Victor or Jimmy? Remember they opened the cell, Victor's got rats on him, and then there's hash marks carved next to him? I wonder if Jimmy would pop a claw and be like 1 week, 2 weeks, or if it was Sabretooth being like, man, I can't wait to get out of here and start killing again.
Were those days or were those rats that he had done?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Is that the number of rats they killed?
He's like sending them out for recon.
Befriended. I like the befriended angle. Yeah. It's just,
Victor was all, it's been 1 week.
They're Canadian too.
Oh my God. It all falls into place.
Oh,
That's
God.
exactly right.
Yep.
Good and you.
In prison, they're visited by the ghost of Christmas future, William Stryker. He wants them to join his special unit of special.
This is our third striker, right?
Yeah. 3 strikers and you're out. Yeah.
And there's more. And I just want to put it out, so many movies and so many timelines and opportunities to kill this dude. It just, they'll show Wolverine shoving those claws into just about anybody that he's got to get through. But he's all, I hope this Colonel Stryker finally sees the light.
Yeah, exactly.
Or he wants to kill him slowly, very slowly. Like
we've
over
seen
the time of 6 movies, slowly.
By
He's
old
been killing
age.
him the whole time.
At least 6.
Yeah.
I will kill you through the weapon of old age.
Yeah.
We've seen young Stryker. We've seen old Brian Cox Stryker. Now this John Huston Stryker. Look, can somebody stick a bullet in his brain real quick?
Yeah, please.
Save people a lot of trouble.
Push him out one of these helicopters,
Right. Yeah. Remember how you used to kill people, Wolvie?
I'd like to remind everyone at home that William Stryker had nothing to do with the Weapon X program.
Yes.
In the comics.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's all him in the movies, in the X-Men.
He's got a great
All.
name for Hugh Jackman to yell.
Stryker!
It's a good villain name. And it's a good villain character.
Yeah.
It just makes no sense that, many people get slaughtered. But anyway,
Yeah. So, all right, we cut to 6 years later.
Always this guy.
6 years later, squad's on a plane on their way to Nigeria. We meet everybody else. We got Wade Wilson, who less said about the better. Fred, who's the impenetrable skin dude. Bradley with telekinetic powers. Agent Zero, who's Shooter McGavin. John Wraith, the teleporter.
He eats pieces of shit for breakfast.
He does. And the guy who is Blob, but not yet, but he's going to be. But watch out, because he's got powers anyway.
Yeah. So they break into a heavily guarded building and try to get information on where the leader of the guy that's in charge there found a meteor. So this whole operation, I'd like to point out a few things. One, couldn't teleporter guy just have teleported all around to do some recon and then reported back?
I assume he's limited by the distance visual thing, like what's his name?
Nightcrawler.
Okay.
He has to see where he's going.
Makes sense. The second thing I'd like to point out is that neither Jimmy or Victor do anything on this entire mission. They just walk behind Stryker the whole time, doing nothing.
So why is Stryker there?
He's a micromanager.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the worst.
That's a good point.
He wants to personally find out where the meteor's from. Personally.
Yeah.
Him. It has to be him. It wasn't until the second watch through that I realized the meteor was connected to adamantium, because the first time I just missed that single line that told us what this was all about.
This is a really pretty rock.
Was adamantium? Because I know vibranium was even in the comics, I believe, right? Like what that.
I
It
mean,
was adamantium.
Wakanda did have.
He says
Go
it
ahead.
later. That meteor we were looking for is adamantium, and we're going to put it in your bones.
Yeah.
Yeah, was it from space in the comic? I don't remember.
I don't know.
Sounds
I don't
right.
either.
Yeah,
I think it was naturally occurring on Earth.
I thought so too. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just the hardest material.
So they trace the meteor's origins back to a village. The villagers don't want to tell them where they found it, so Stryker orders them to kill everybody. Wolverine refuses and leaves the squad. He's like, I'm out of here, guys, after we record Abbey Road.
Exactly.
Paul's doing way too much killing.
Did we
Right.
see a bigger chunk of adamantium, or did we just see the baseball-sized rock?
We only
Just that one. I
just
think.
that one, yeah, the one baseball-sized one.
Because I always assumed that Wolverine had about that much adamantium on his body, not a ton, just super thin
Yeah.
layer of it.
That was the way I always understood it.
But in these movies, they show it like they're dumping like gallons of gray metallic goop into his bones.
Well, I
Like,
mean,
it's
I
like
always
injected
pictured it-
into his bone marrow.
Right. I always
Yeah.
pictured it like plating, like
Yeah,
they
it's
do
just-
metal plating. And in these, yeah, you're right. It's an injection, almost like a thick mercury looking kind of
Yeah,
blood or gel.
and we see later there's like an X-ray, and it looks like he's electroplated, basically his bones.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, they're looking
Yeah.
for so much of it. I don't know. It just seems weird.
yeah. Well, and he
And it
does
was
say they
very
found the
quick.
entire meteor. So, like, he found more than that. We just didn't see it on screen.
Yeah, he had enough to make sweet bullets.
Yeah,
And do weapon
Fucking
1
stupid.
through 11. So
Yeah. Weapons
That's
1 through
right.
9 were, yeah.
1 through 9, yeah.
well, I assume that they just melted those bodies back down and tried again. with
Recycle.
the next one.
Oh,
Yeah,
very friendly.
You're
Reduce,
right.
reuse,
That
yeah.
makes sense with copper. Yeah, they would just. Okay.
Okay, so then we cut to 6 years later at this point. Wait, no, this is the
6-year
cut. I don't know. Who
Yeah.
cares?
So okay,
None of that
the
matters.
timeline on this. What does that make it? That's like 1980 when they were in Lagos.
No, wait. I think that was like the 70s. That was like 73, 74.
Oh, okay,
When they were looking for the adamantium.
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
6 years later
because-
would be 1980.
Because I was very confused about what year this actually took place until I realized that it was
Yeah.
supposed to be the 3 Mile Island meltdown at the end.
Oh, that's what they say happened on 3 Mile Island?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it had already happened and nobody went there.
No. They said they were using it as
That
a
was not
nuclear power facility.
Station, like it was.
Yeah, as a cover. So because
Yeah.
no one wants to go there because they
Mhm.
think they'll, get radioactive if they do. And then this
I never
happened
put
and
that
they used the
together.
meltdown as a cover for this incident.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
ridiculous.
okay.
First of all, that wasn't clear to me, anyways. But it
Me neither.
It took 2 viewings for me to
That
figure
was-
that out.
that was a functioning plant.
No, it was not. They
Never.
They pretended it was so that people
They
wouldn't
just-
go there.
They built 3 reactors to.
They
have
built.
it come
They
to-
just used coal to make the steam.
They built
The
3
irony is
Yeah.
delicious.
They built 3
Why didn't they just do it at Alkali Lake in Canada? That's where all the parties go down.
because they didn't. I don't know.
They
'Cause
needed,
They
a
needed
cooling
to
tower.
I'm just
fight
saying
on a
that-
reactor.
Well, no. Actually,
Yeah.
you know why?
Yeah.
Because
Yes.
in the first X-Men movie, they had to have they had to have Wolverine not know where he was from, and if he had woken up with his brain damaged in Alkali Lake, he would have known he was connected to that place.
Yeah, no, I know. I just had no idea that they built those reactors as a cover.
Yep, that's the story.
Storytelling wise, that is stupid as fuck.
Yes,
Subterfuge.
yes, it is.
Continuity
Government
wise,
subcommittee.
yeah.
Oh yeah. All right. Yeah, not clear.
And
Gotcha.
also because like it's an island, so we have to like fly there in this little plane, but it's like a fucking 100 yards off the coast of what,
Yeah.
New Jersey? Like
They show
God.
a bridge at the
Yeah.
end. They show all the emergency responders
Well,
driving
yeah,
over a
and they
bridge.
pull back,
Yeah.
and
Right.
like there's like fucking I don't know where it is exactly, New Jersey, Long Island, but it's like right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And well, why would you build a bridge to your bullshit thing you don't want anyone to come to? I know, to get emergency services there in the end, but yeah, all right.
Yeah. So, anyways, then
Wow.
Jimmy's now a lumberjack in Canada. He lives with his girlfriend Kayla in a remote cabin, calls himself Logan.
Thank God, because Jimmy is so stupid.
Yes.
So stupid.
Meanwhile, Bradley, the telekinetic guy, is working as a carny. Victor shows up and kills him. Then
these two dudes in their lives after leaving the Force are fucking killing it. They're living the life. Like Wolverine's in a cool house. He's beating cakes with Silver Fox. He's doing logging stuff with his bros. And you got the Hobbit Charlie, who's like in a cool trailer with a bunch of cool toys and like
he likes it.
Scotch. Yeah, he likes it. He's like flirting with that girl. He's like, "Yo, I'll light you up" or whatever. And yeah, these guys are like killing it. They have like great. Everybody has a good apartment in this movie.
Well, they do. And Will.i.am has his own boxing gym. Like he's doing all right.
Spot is cool as hell too.
He's yeah. You know what? He's bringing jobs to the community. He's doing all right. So.
Getting kids off the street.
Yeah.
He is. Jonathan.
Stryker shows up at Jimmy's work, tells him about Bradley dying and that Wade, he tells him Wade's also dead and that someone's hunting down the old team. He wants Jimmy to help. Jimmy refuses. By the way, I will not ever refer to him as Logan in this F1. Just so we're all aware.
Ever again.
He's Jimmy.
Why would Marvel let that happen?
He's only.
And does it? Sabretooth kills Charlie. I'm going to refer to him as Charlie. Sabretooth kills Charlie, right?
Yeah.
Did we get to there yet? Or?
Yeah, he killed him.
Okay, well, I have and it's so ironic that Al already got to a dick in the box joke because there's a woman getting in a box and they even say in the background dialogue of like, "See, the woman in the box." And yeah, all I could think of over and over was like, "Make her get in the box."
Well, what's also funny is like, is that really that big of a trick? Just getting in a box?
No, if the box is the right size, anyone can.
It depends on how bad your arthritis is, too, though, man. If you got bad hips, it's hard to get in a box.
That's true. Yeah. If you're a silver fox, then
don't get in that box.
If you're a silver fox, don't get in the box.
Don't get in the box.
Will.i.am.
I do not like it, Will.i.am. I do not like black peas and ham.
I would not like her in a box.
On the way home, there's some classic Canadian bullies standing in the middle of the road.
Yo, classic Canadian aggression.
Hey, this is Conversation Bridge. What do you expect?
And we see that Kayla has the powers of persuasion, but they don't work on Jimmy.
Because his brain heals itself too fast.
That's a good point. I don't
know. Why?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But then it's implied that it was sort of, you know what I mean? Doesn't work on Jimmy, but at the end, when it's revealed that it's all been.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No.
Something worked on him.
No, because she says it was always real, and so I assumed it didn't work on him, or Sabretooth.
But what if that's a double lie?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's the only thing. That's the only thing that makes sense. Because if not, why didn't she just stick her hand on Jimmy and say, "Go get your bones adamantiumed and become"?
Yeah.
Like, why? Why was she pretending to be his girlfriend? Like, it would have been way simpler.
You're right. It must not have worked on because it worked on Stryker right away.
Yes.
Even though she had encounters with Stryker.
Yes.
She could have told him to open her sister's cage.
Yes, which was actually one of my unanswered questions. I have a number of unanswered questions. I assume some of them will be answered as we go through this, but one of them was, why didn't she just touch Stryker and say, "Let my sister out"?
Right.
So
because she understood all those civil contracts that were put together to build this nuclear reactor that was never going to work. A lot on the line.
At home, she tells Jimmy about some bullshit pseudo Native American story about a trickster Wolverine howling at the moon. So
Wolverine, let's do this because
this thing. First off, this story, the name she gives is, what was it? Keo
Kawatsu.
Keo Kawatsu. That's very evocative of of like an Aztec, Mayan,
Right,
like
Mesoamerican, not northern.
Yeah.
Yes, type of name. Secondly, Wolverines don't howl at the moon. They're related to badgers and otters.
Right.
Yep.
Just some Canadian trappers like the beautiful sound of the Wolverine howling.
The Wolverine.
The Wolverine.
She sings.
I actually looked up
Transylvanian Canadian.
Yeah.
I actually looked it up to see what sounds Wolverines make, and it's mostly kind of grunting and snuffling sounds.
It's like a guttural growl.
Like lots of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yosemite Sam. And then to tie it into a bow, Wolverine himself makes it kind of racist. And he's like, cuckoo cuckoo got screwed.
Yeah. And she's like, you don't understand my people. And he's like, the Irish? Like,
yeah.
Because this woman is not Native American, nor does she look it even slightly. I thought she was a hipster with her poncho.
Yeah, and he literally lived in Canada pre-industrial, and he's just so laughing at her little stories and tales.
Right,
like,
exactly.
Fuck all of this. Fuck
it would
all
be
of
so
this.
Easy to cast someone that fits the role much better. That is not just some California white actress with dyed brown hair.
And just decide, if she's indigenous Canadian, great. If she's Silver Fox and you want to make her blue-eyed and Irish, great.
Yeah.
But they always want to sell you both.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're gonna make her not Native American, okay, that's a choice. Do it,
Fine.
but don't pretend she is when she's clearly not.
Mm-hmm.
No, because they get the note of like no blonde Aryan, okay, but we'll still get away with it anyways.
I think it's easy enough for them to write the lines that she says as the people from this area say blah 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 blah.
Some people believe.
Some people
My
believe.
grandfather told me as a child, kind of thing. Like, be
right.
a secondhand messenger for some indigenous story. That's fine. But
what's funny is there's no lead up to this either. She just tells him this story out of nowhere. Is that like her pillow talk? Like
exactly.
He didn't ask.
Let me tell you about the Wolverine in my life. It is time for love making in Wolverine.
He has like an anthropology degree.
Yeah, the Cajuns were the Acadians that came down. So that's interesting. Remy LeBeau.
All right. So
they were Canadian. They were French Canadians.
Yeah.
This whole movie, Canada, man, we got to bomb them, I think.
So, all right. The next day while...
I'm sorry, real quick. I just looked it up. Kuekwachu is a Innu name for Wolverine, but they're saying that the Wolverine was the trickster.
Yes. Who howled at the moon.
Oh, I mean, like in actual Native American mythology.
Yeah.
The Wolverine was the trickster.
Okay.
In Inuit, I see. Okay.
And it grunted at the moon.
Yeah, it's funny that that's the trickster character.
Yeah.
Kuekwachu. That's how they say it.
Okay.
All right.
Anyway,
So, all right. The next day while driving, Kayla has a run-in with Victor. Jimmy finds a severed Wolverine head and instantly runs to find her.
That's such like getting a horse head is one thing. You go to a horse pen and you kill a horse.
Yeah, that is how it happened.
But like a Wolverine, how many hours did he spend? How many days did he spend tracking this small woodland animal
that he didn't know was symbolic to Jimmy?
That was
Jimmy
one
had just heard
of
the
my
story the night before.
Just last night, how does he know the Wolverine is symbolic to Jimmy at all?
So was he outside the window listening and then masturbating because they obviously had sex and just sad but listening? Or did he bring the Wolverine with him? Did he like fly back, get the Wolverine from the zoo?
He was a striker. Maybe the place was bugged.
That is.
They were listening all along.
I just realized that's why Victor is so aggro. He can't masturbate with those claws.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
He's so full of pent-up aggression.
You just got to do what Sting does.
He's an incel.
Do the Sting thing and meditate it.
The mental masturbation.
Yeah.
Yep. Remember we used to have to do that? Fucking pilgrims.
Before the Pilgrims invented masturbation.
Yeah.
Oh,
Thinking about
images.
shiny buckles.
No, they had it, but they had to, yeah, exactly. They had to think about buckles.
And buckles.
Could you imagine if she didn't have a buckle on?
Oh, jeez.
Shit.
I ain't walking for a week.
Sarah plain and tall.
Like I like them.
That's the way I like them. Plain and built like a board.
All right. So he finds Kayla
Jesus.
on the side of the road, apparently dead, covered in blood. Her car has a big scratch in it, which is going to take, that's going to be expensive to get buffed out.
It's a nice car, too. It was a Ranchero, man. I love those cars. I'm like, damn you, Sabretooth.
Jimmy goes and finds Victor in a bar. They fight. The number of times they just flew at each other straight on.
Yes.
Yes. This whole setup was so... First of all, the bar is a parking lot or a barn or something. Like they're
I think it's a barn.
Parking on the inside. Then we have
it's an
inside parking.
unlicensed bar. It's got the whole place had a Leonard Kenny vibe.
That whole fucking thing. Yeah, it did. And just the most unsanitary fighting. It's like dirty fingernails versus like turd claws. Like everybody's getting tetanus.
Yeah.
Well, and it's just, so the Liv Schreiber running is funny enough. But like, okay, fine. And the crawling up walls, okay, fine. But there were so many instances where a hero leapt, like jumped forward, but with their legs. Yeah. So they jumped up into the air, but then they suddenly, now their legs are in front of them as they fly towards.
Yeah. They did like a woo. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I laughed out loud during this scene because Sabretooth just straight throws him at a truck. Like he just throws him at it. It's like,
and the truck keeps going.
It just made me laugh so hard because what a weird way to punctuate a fight. He's like, "Fuck you, Wolverine." And
he waited for the truck.
Yeah, he waited. He just waited. Yeah.
And that truck driver was like, "These fucking flat screens need to get to Anchorage. I don't care."
Yeah. Chalk it up. Just weigh the road. Just weigh the road.
Truckers.
You just
if
you
a
hit a drifter
thrown at your truck.
Yeah.
All right.
Someone's throwing you exactly.
You hit a drifter.
You just keep going. Way the road.
All right. So Victor kicks Jimmy's ass. He breaks his claws, leaving him there. Jimmy goes to the hospital where Stryker shows up. Jimmy decides to press him up against numerous walls and then agrees to go with Stryker to upgrade his powers so he can kill Victor. Stryker takes him to the Alkali Lake facility and tells him that the meteor they found allowed them to create adamantium. They cover his bones in it. Put it on my bones, Stryker.
My outside bones.
My bones need grills. Grills for my bones.
They also.
He's a bone thug.
He also. This is the point where Stryker also is a bone thug out of harmony. They also at this point he explains to a general how Roman numerals work.
The guy was so angry. It was all fuck Roman.
That whole scene, it just gives them. They're like, well, we can't use anesthesia on him because it doesn't work. But like, Wolverine gets knocked unconscious a few times.
Right.
Like, why don't they just hit him with a hammer and knock him out?
Just knock him out.
With a hammer.
He doesn't have to be conscious.
They got the science.
They're like, we're gonna make you some new dog tags. There's no real reason. Except, what do you want him to say?
Oh, yeah.
He's all Mitzi.
Fuck you, Stryker. That why his name?
Jelly beans.
I want to say intentionally blank.
Cash money millionaires. That's what I wanted to say.
I wanted to say
like,
C money 976.
C money 42069.
Nice.
He was like
ICB.
He was like, okay, so this is a bit of a gag, but what if you printed this side blank?
What about that?
Stryker's like,
I want
brilliant.
my Juggalo name.
Yep.
So
hit him with the machine again. Hit him again.
Yeah. So all right. They do the process, and then Jimmy Wolverine wakes up and he's all crazy and he runs away naked.
Mm-hmm.
This was so funny.
Dude, don't take my memories. I'm gonna murder everyone here. That's pretty much. Don't.
And naked running is hilarious.
Naked running.
I mean, I wish it was full frontal because that's even funnier. But
Naked running, naked jumping into a waterfall.
Yeah.
right? Yes.
I think it would have been great if it was full frontal though, and as he runs towards the camera, he just has a very small penis, like comically small. Like,
I just
not
imagine
even
it's just like
shrinkage.
like
Right.
flop like that.
Well,
He's
Did
just got a
his
ton of
penis get
bush, you know.
a lot of bush, you can't even see his
he's
penis.
a wild
All
animal.
hair.
Also, it's cold, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
shrinkage.
you know, no one's
Did
going
his-
to judge him.
Did
too
he get
harshly.
adamantium weenus?
Well, I mean, that's not literally a bone,
There's
but
no bone in your penis.
I
What?
wonder if his
But-
balls would. What?
but
Wait,
but
what?
pee is stored in the balls.
No, but they just injected it. We talked
Right.
about it earlier.
Like his
It's true.
balls would be clacking like two like ball bearings.
Yeah, like those,
Like one of those
those
toys, like the
It's
yeah.
just ringing the whole time.
This is great.
All right, so he ends up in the barn of a nice older couple that I'm pretty sure we're interested in a three-way. Just for
Get some clothes on him. Get in here.
the way she turned
This is
to
the most
he was
exciting
like,
thing that's happened in years.
yeah, the way he was like, that's a naked man. Sure is. I was like,
Sure
okay.
He's a dancer for money.
Yeah, because if they're not interested in a three-way, their actions make very little sense.
Yeah.
They should have just called the Mounties.
Yeah. Because, I mean, I'm not an old couple from Canada, but Naked Man sends up all my red flags.
Yeah.
Right. In your barn, naked man in my barn.
Naked.
Yes, hiding naked man.
Hide-
I'm not weird about the naked male body, but just hiding naked guy. But like,
Sweaty, hiding,
He's hiding.
out of breath, naked guy in my
Waiting
barn.
to
Yeah.
jump out.
he's been running. I have not been running.
I'm going to make a
He
phone
has been
call.
running.
Yeah. Well, and they're like, are you on drugs? No. Oh, just a rough night then.
All right.
I'll be like, what is
Liv
that?
Schreiber- That's the farm Liv Schreiber's mom defected to after her bad acid trip.
So, all right, they let him spend the night. And this is the point where the filmmakers show off the most impressive CGI claws of 1991.
Yeah.
Before their After Effects
Fucking
free
A.
trial ends.
Oh Jesus! These claws are what?
Woo.
I don't know. It's like Who Framed Roger Rabbit. It
Yeah.
was literally like
Yeah.
it was like Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
It was
Yeah, they
bad.
had a cartoon sheen to
It was
them.
so bad.
Not 3 dimensions.
Not
Well,
at
and the
all.
sparks. Why the sparks?
Yeah.
Yeah, why were they sparking?
Were they always sparking?
He just clanked
I
them
mean-
together, and then he got fascinated like a light show.
They do in the comics, but I mean that's more of like a onomatopoeia kind of thing. That's not
Right.
really a
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
the snicked and the
Yeah,
clang stuff. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah. This,
Like
Just in a jug band.
he's like,
Yeah.
some people
Playing
play
his
the
claws
spoons. I
together.
play the claws. Ching, 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 ching.
Oh God!
So-
and in the background, they're just like, "Our shower fits 4 people." Just so you know, when you're done in there,
It's a horse shower. Everyone was in.
You'd be like,
4 people.
you'd be like, there's a seat in it because Ma's hips aren't so good. But
But you can sit in it and watch the show, Wolverine.
the plus,
Did they put
the
some
plus
of that
side of
metal in your
that,
penis?
the plus side of it is that her legs bend like nobody's business.
Oh, jeez.
That's her mutant ability
Oh God, her mutant, yes.
to turn me on.
So they give him a jacket, which thank God we finally saw the origins of his jacket from the
Yeah,
It was
1990s.
more compelling than him. Yeah.
Their son dressed really cool though. Cool,
Yeah.
cool
Yeah.
belt. He had a cool
He's a
belt.
badass.
Yeah. He gets a motorcycle, and then Agent Zero shows up, kills them, and blows up the barn, which he
Dude.
does the slow walk away from.
That
Once again-
whole sequence made
my
me
God.
laugh so fucking hard.
Oh
Thank
my
you.
God.
So
Like
did
the-
I. I laughed out loud.
It's supposed to be this machismo, like, look at how badass Wolverine is. And all I can think is, who the fuck are these losers who made this movie? Who
Oh.
thought this is cool?
Yes.
Yep.
Oh my God.
And just to, I don't know.
No, go ahead.
Just show up in an army helicopter just to kill this old couple. And
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm with the general in the trailer, well, in the movie, that you just spent $1 billion to weaponize this dude, and immediately, without even, before the discharge paperwork was signed, they're hunting him.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like he would have been a lot easier if you hadn't made him indestructible.
They're like,
Okay.
who's he with? He's with 2 Canadian swingers. Get a Black Hawk.
Get a Black Ops.
So the motorcycle in the barn,
Yeah. When he drives the motorcycle out of
the barn when it explodes.
out of the barn as it's exploding. Like, why the motorcycle in the barn? Couldn't he have gotten that in town?
Right.
He could have
Like,
gotten it
yeah.
anywhere.
I just don't understand the motorcycle in the barn. It just, yeah.
Yeah.
And then off-roading for
Dead
5
son,
minutes as
really.
they're firing bullets at him.
Yeah. Oh, my
Wolverine's
God.
bulletproof, essentially, right?
Yeah.
Or can heal rapidly from bullets.
Right.
But that motorcycle is not.
No,
No.
it's
Nope.
not.
And that's like anti-tank, anti-personnel munitions that they're shooting from the helicopter.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mhm.
But then
Yeah.
also sniper shooting
Yeah.
Yeah, like that shit.
into a barn.
Also, how did Agent Zero get on that helicopter so fast?
Oh, yeah. Good question.
Because he was on the hill.
He jumped.
Oh, he jumped in there?
Yeah.
Oh, right, because he can jump really high. You're right. At the beginning, when he extraneously loaded his guns, he was like practically flying. You're right, Al.
I
jumped
just
up there.
remembered at the beginning of that, of the beginning on their first when they were in Nigeria, and he shoots like it's like 35 people with 9 bullets.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
so many more people die than he took shots at.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Jimmy takes down the helicopter. He kills Agent Zero at this point, right? I don't think we see
Yeah.
him again.
Well, he
He blows up
Yeah,
the
he-
helicopter.
blows up the helicopter. He does that weird superhero thing where they don't kill. They do an action that will kill them, but they don't physically kill them. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like,
because it's
I like
Yeah.
this
because
part.
it's a PG-13.
Mhm.
No, but that's a trope. That's not
It
bad.
is. It's absolutely.
That's a trope. Yeah.
This movie's full of
Batman
tropes.
does it all the fucking time.
They did the Muzak in the elevator trope too, where they're riding the elevator up in Nigeria and they're playing
Yeah.
it, which they did in Blade. We saw in Blade. You know, they do that a lot.
I mean, comic book Wolverine would have like peeled his skin off.
Yeah, it would have just massacred him. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Peeled
You
his skin
killed
off.
those
That's a
old
good way.
people. We were gonna do it.
We were
Yeah.
gonna do
You're right.
shit. Yeah.
But this isn't Wolverine. This is Jimmy.
It is.
This is
It's Jimmy. So
Jimmy Jackman.
Jimmy Jackman.
Little Jimmy Jackman.
So he vows to kill Stryker and leaves on the motorcycle. Then at a secret base, the general's not happy with what Stryker's doing.
General disapproval.
Yeah.
General disappointment. Yeah.
This general is
Yep.
like an accountant and like logistics guy. Like he
Yeah.
doesn't give a shit about anything besides like, dude, this is a lot of money.
We spent a lot of money. This project isn't really being as awesome as we thought.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
and-
you failed.
And frankly, you
I
didn't
just
see.
realized we could use mutants
Yeah.
anyway.
You didn't CC us on CC me on like half the emails of this.
And I know how Roman numerals work, Stryker.
I'm not
Yeah,
dumb.
cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know you'd done this 9 times, you son of a bitch.
I mean,
I want
realistically, you'd think he'd make an argument for like, we could be using this adamantium shit. This is some high tech stuff for like satellites
Right.
or swords that we could give to somebody else. You know, like,
Yeah. And,
putting
and
in somebody's
apparently,
bones.
apparently you don't have to coerce mutants into war. These 2 dudes have done every war you can
Yeah.
imagine without being forced.
That's how they get their rocks off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Yeah, so they're bad
Then
ones.
we find out there's a mutant that they were looking for. Stryker learns where he is. Turns out
geez.
it's Scott Summers.
I fucking
So
hate
what
Scott
time-
Summers, dude. I hate Cyclops
I
so
always say
much.
just Cyclops too. What year is this?
It's like 79, 80. When did 3 Mile
80.
happen?
79.
79.
Okay, right, 3 Mile Island.
So Scott
forgot.
Summers is a teenager then. The most boring one, too. The most boring one. They're like, let's get the boring milquetoast one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
why not
Well-
Mystique or Storm
Yeah.
or something?
Right, show us, when they're younger. Well, and they've
Because
done this
every
a lot.
Deadpool fan wants Deadpool to have laser eyes.
Yeah. Yes.
That's what it must
That's a
have
great
been.
point. Actually,
Yeah.
that's a good point because and
Oh,
Scott's
Scott
can
Summers,
rip right
though.
through a building. It ripped right
Yeah.
through his school. But then, you're right. Deadpool can use a blast, and Sabretooth
That's a
will just
great
take it in
point.
the chest.
Yeah, well, because I mean, it's supposed to be like a concrete block that's hot, not laser beams, right?
Mhm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
This was the most inconsistent Cyclops beam I've ever
Yeah.
seen.
Oh, yeah.
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 And he already knew that the rose tinted glasses help.
Right.
Somebody told
Yeah,
him
they were
that.
just glasses. So yeah, this is the
I
question.
know that Beast makes his actual visor, but when when we finally see the Scott origin that they show us later, yeah, he didn't know that those tinted glasses would help.
No.
Yeah, he had eye patches on, right?
Well, he did. He was wrapped
I
up.
know.
Yeah, because you
Yeah.
guys remember, like he's in the restroom. He'd been bullied and what have you, and then it takes hold. But then, yeah, he has to close his eyes. His brother wraps his eyes up and takes him to Charles.
So
But in this, he already knew that he could do that, and that these tinted glasses help.
He's the worst.
yeah.
My notes after this, every other sentence is how much I hate Scott Summers in my notes. I don't know why I dislike him so much.
Just rechecking Cyclops' powers. At one point, they call them optic blasts, and then powerful beams of energy. So, yes, not lasers, but just energy blasts.
Well, certainly not lasers, but for lack of a better.
Yeah.
So all right, at this point, Jimmy
Cosmic radiation. Sorry.
At this point, Jimmy goes to visit Wraith, who's running a boxing gym. He tells him Stryker ended up hunting mutants. Then Jimmy has to fight Dukes, who's in a fat bastard level fat suit. That scene was so bad. Dukes tells
Character sucks.
Oh God, yeah. Dukes tells Jimmy that there's an island where Stryker does experiments on mutants, and Victor is working for him. He tells him there's one mutant who escaped from the island, a gambler named Gambit. So he decides to head to New Orleans with Wraith to find Gambit. Then we see Victor kidnap Scott Summers from detention.
What was he writing on the wall?
He had to conjugate the verb.
Yeah, that Spanish
Yeah,
word.
he had to write.
Yeah.
He talks.
Over and over again. Yeah. So Jimmy goes and finds Gambit at a poker game in New Orleans. Victor
Okay, I don't.
Al, go ahead. Sorry.
I don't know about you, but if I see a guy who can shuffle cards in midair, I'm going to go find another poker table.
I definitely am. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a shark. I mean, I'm not a doctor,
Right.
but yeah, I'm with you.
100%. Yes. I'm not going to gamble against this guy.
Well, his ethics are questionable, if nothing else.
Yeah.
Let's see. Victor shows up and kills Wraith. Gambit throws Jimmy through a wall into an alley where Victor is crouched over Wraith's dead body. They fight. Jimmy gets the upper hand, but Gambit shows up and Victor runs away. Jimmy fights Gambit with some really great fire escape special effects.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, those were terrible.
Against your knife.
Oh my God.
I
Like
wanted
cats.
to point out that after Gambit gets elbowed in the face and Jimmy walks away from him, they fight. The Wolverine and Sabretooth fight. Gambit unnecessarily, he has to go back into the bar, get his staff, climb to the top of a building, run all the way across it, and jump off to interrupt these two guys who are ignoring him.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and so his big thing when he realizes that Logan Jimmy is wearing the dog tags.
Yeah.
Says the guy who kidnapped me was wearing those same dog tags. I'm going to kill you.
Just like
And then
a few million dudes.
Steps into the alley, and the guy who actually kidnapped him is in the alley.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy who just told you, I'm trying to kill that fucking guy, dog, is now fighting him.
Yeah.
Don't you think he'd be like, hey, man, we'll settle this shit later. I'm going to help you kill this guy because my beef is with him. I don't know where you got your dog tags.
Well, and I didn't know that he had the ability to transfer energy and throw it back, because that would have, he could have taken that punch to the face in a whole different way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess, if you get elbowed in the face, that's
maybe
different.
it doesn't work on organics.
But I thought that's what we heard, was that he could do that, send your own energy back at you or something.
I mean, in the
No.
comics.
You're thinking of Bishop.
Yeah. He charges.
I'm thinking of a lot of people.
Yeah. He charges inanimate objects, changes their potential energy to kinetic energy.
Okay,
And
my
can
mistake. There was
accelerate
another
kinetic-
mutant we talked about. There was somebody.
Yeah.
I just see Gambit muttering to himself the whole time, just having to run back. He's so pissed. Just hit me in the fucking face. And he's running up the stairs and he's like, I haven't been this angry since the Wolverine started howling at the moon.
That's right. When you stop to think about what they have to do, it's not just coming back into the room from another room.
You have to get it, set it up, run up 5
Yeah, he's got to get his object. Hopefully,
he's left it. Hit me in face. I don't know why my Russian is Russian now, but these motherfuckers.
You're going Irish. It's not Jamaican.
Going Irish is not Jamaican.
All right. Then Jimmy convinces Gambit to take him to the island. On the island, we see Stryker's working on Weapon 11. Then he just murders the general. Which there's going to be people know where you can't just murder a general.
Well, no, apparently no. It's very confusing as to who knows what happens here and who doesn't.
What happens in Canada stays in Canada.
No, what happens on 3 Mile Island?
Yeah.
All right. So
and I guess it does. In this world, it stays on 3 Mile Island.
I guess so. Well, no, he does get arrested for murdering the general later. But so all right, yeah, Gambit flies Jimmy to the island. Jimmy jumps out the window and swims the last little bit, which when we discover it's 3 Mile Island. I mean, he really could have just taken a boat. It's like 50 yards.
Does Wolverine float? Is he buoyant?
Oh, with the adamantium.
That's a great question.
Oh, if they plate him with metal, yeah, he's probably still. It's lightweight. It's rigid. Yeah. But if they're dumping that goop into his bones, he's probably.
They showed him
very heavy and dense.
When he got on the motorcycle.
Yeah,
they showed he was heavy.
Oh, right, the weight.
Yeah.
The shock.
Huh.
Why did he just walking along the bottom of the
World War Z zombies?
Just walking.
Yeah. All right.
Why do you have to sneak onto a fake nuclear facility? All right, go ahead.
All right, yeah. So he sneaks into the lab. Stryker tells him Wade is now known as Deadpool. Kayla's still alive and was working for Stryker because he has her sister captive. Jimmy decides just to leave. He just turns and walks out. And Stryker's like, okay, bye.
Yeah, he was just done. Even Victor's like, you're just going to let him?
Yeah, he was just leaving. That's it.
Yeah.
He was all dunzo.
So you broke my heart. Bye.
Yeah, because I couldn't dance.
His feelings are super hurt. Fuck all these people. I'm really sad.
Yeah, exactly. It was a fuck you, I'm out.
So Stryker refuses to release Kayla's sister. Victor shows up and wants adamantium bones, but Stryker's like, no bones for you.
Couldn't he just give him like a adamantium hammer or something?
All of this. Okay, I want to. When Wolverine, when he first finds out Silver Fox isn't dead, and he's super butthurt, and he looks at her and he's like, "You ain't no moon, you ain't no moon," and then
you're the trickster.
You the trickster. Don't hurt me. And then when Victor shows up and they have their showdown, so I had this moment where right before they fight, my daughter does this thing. I have this 11-year-old kid, right? She lives here. She's mine. But she does this thing. She does this stance where she'll walk in her room and go like this, right? And I don't know why, but then Wolverine is like, ha!
Yeah. He did do that.
Arms akimbo. And I just thought of my 11-year-old daughter doing this weird T-pose. Yeah. I don't know why.
It's almost like a clean jerk kind of like motion. Yeah. Like you're about to snap the weight up above your
exactly. Shoulder. He's just like, oh, no. And she ain't no fucking moon,
Yeah, he's like pouting while doing it. It's great.
You're the trickster. You're the Big Dipper because you're a big dipper.
So Victor attacks Kayla. Jimmy hears her scream and is like, "Oh, okay, I'll save you." He runs back, fights Victor. He's beating Victor, but then decides not to kill him because he's not an animal. He just knocks him unconscious. Kayla tells him she really loved him and asks him to help release her sister. Do you think maybe she was like, I loved you, help me get my sister?
The whole stakes of this movie changes at the end, right? Because first it's like revenge. He wants to know why he's being pursued. He wants to go back and kill Stryker. Then he gets his feelings hurt. So he's like, I don't want to do this anymore. And then the writers are like, well, what do we do now? We'll save all the other mutants. Like the stakes change so quickly.
Yeah, so fast.
That is what happened.
Yeah.
And they did mention that Stryker says, her sister's ability, she can turn to diamonds.
Right.
Diamonds are forever.
Well, that's the White Queen. That's Emma Frost's power.
Yeah.
So her sister was that. Yeah, and she's a telepath.
Yeah.
So, all right. Stryker releases Weapon 11. We see a bunch of mutants in cages. Jimmy releases them all, and they flee. Al, give us a list.
What's up?
Give us a list of the mutants, the mutant cameos.
Oh my God! Storm was there.
Really?
Aurora Monroe. Oh wait, she was in a deleted scene.
She was in the trailer though.
Yeah.
There was a deleted.
Let's see. There was the guy that was like tied up with like some sort of bungee cords or something, and he kept like flipping
Quicksilver.
Because he kept vibrating.
Quicksilver. That was supposed to be Quicksilver. Okay.
He's got white hair.
Let's see. Who was the guy with the blue and the green eyes? Was that Stryker's kid? What's
That's
his face?
Stryker's son.
Yeah.
Leech.
William
Leech
or something.
Yeah, Leech. William. Yeah. Anyone else? Did anyone else spot anybody notable?
No, I saw a girl with a purple streak in her hair. Who's that?
Oh, Psylocke.
Oh yeah, Psylocke.
Okay.
I saw Larry King. No, that was
Larry King. And he's
You're thinking Larry David was in one of those cages.
Yeah.
Also, Wolverine does a Naruto run to cut all the locks.
He does.
That's like the third time he does that in the movie.
Storming Area 51.
I'm the king of the world.
I come from the internet. You know.
So all right, he releases.
And then he's all Stryker, no striking.
On the way out, they run into Weapon 11, who has katana blade hands.
That shit made me laugh out loud for the third time.
So, question about this.
God, yes.
The blades come out the back of his hands parallel to his fingers.
Yes.
Right.
Why did they not come out of the palms of his hands parallel to his radius and ulna, where that bone would keep it? I don't understand how that blade was flat.
Mm-hmm.
But also, it was the
should've-
length of his arm, not his forearm.
Also,
Yeah.
how does he
So there's
bend
also
his
that.
arms when it's retracted? Why?
Well, I
Right.
guess he's computer programmed at this point, so he doesn't do anything besides just stand around like a drone until
But you're right.
Stryker types in.
That makes adamantium seem more malleable.
Yeah.
If it's soft when it's in you, it's hard when you're excited or nervous.
Also, instead of blades, why couldn't someone just like flex their arms and have two guns come out? You know what I mean?
Good
Like, why
point.
does it always have to
Yeah.
be swords? Like, it's just like, and then two cannons or something. I imagine there's a mutant with that ability. I think it's Bishop.
It was for that dude Joshua who went to the movie with his phone sword. we gotta pay off for this guy.
I have Nerf claws that come out of my fist.
Most disappointing comic book character reveal of all time.
Ever.
Yes.
Horrible.
Angering it must have been.
Yeah. Jeez.
So I never really liked Rob Liefeld, and like I said, when Deadpool became popular, I wasn't buying comic books, so I never really got into him. But
Yeah.
just knowing how much of a fan base he had, I can imagine how angering this bullshit was.
Well, and in the marketing for the movie, you see Ryan Reynolds doing Deadpool type stuff.
Right.
Right.
Mhm.
You know, pithy and sword stuff. You know, he doesn't have a gun at any point, which is dumb.
No.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just really weird to see that reveal of
The
the
fact
sewn
that
mouth.
they took the merc with the mouth and took away his mouth.
Yeah.
Well,
That's a great point.
to me, that's something that would have been really funny had they done that and had him pull out these swords and be like, and cut his mouth open and be like, Jesus, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and,
Right.
Why would you do that to me?
and Ryan Reynolds says he took this specifically, even seen the script, that he specifically accepted this role so that it would remain viable for him to play Deadpool in a later film.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, they
and-
asked him in one of the comic books, what did you look like? What do you look like under the mask? I remember reading this in the comic book, and he said, I look like Ryan Reynolds, but all burnt up.
Yeah.
This was even before they had cast him or anything.
Back when he was Van Wilder.
Well,
Yeah.
and I don't know if we talked about this on Blade. One of my favorite Ryan Reynolds Deadpool things, and we'll probably talk about this again in Deadpool. But when he was in Blade 3, somebody gave him a Deadpool comic and said, like, this is essentially what you're playing.
yeah.
And that's why he wanted this role. And and basically kept it because it was a placeholder for the future, as bad as it was.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Again, I didn't know the character super well, but he seems to nail it. I think it's weird that he took Green Lantern in between, you know?
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I
don't
weird.
know.
That's weird.
That's weird.
But all right, so let's see. The mutants, Jimmy fights Wade. Wade also has healing powers. The mutants escape. Kayla stays there to take on Stryker, I guess. And then we don't see her again until she's dying on the ground. But anyways, for some reason,
She stays because she's been hit by gunfire.
Oh,
I
that's
guess.
right. She
But
shows
she's
her.
bleeding through her corset. Yeah.
And she's like, if I go with you, you might be able to get me medical attention. I'm going to stay here and die.
Right.
So, all right. For some reason, Jimmy decides to climb to the top of a cooling tower.
Very strange. Yeah.
Why did he go up there?
No. He doesn't climb.
not the-
Deadpool poofs him up there. He takes him up there.
No.
No, he climbs.
Jimmy
With his
climbs,
claws.
and he says explicitly, "Let's see you fight me up here."
Right.
Oh, I thought that Deadpool took him up there.
That's so
and then,
stupid.
Victor
And then
climbed.
Deadpool poofs up.
Poofs up. So that's why you probably thought that. But yeah, he didn't realize he could do what Wraith does.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
It's fucking stupid.
He didn't know he had Wraith's powers yet.
Also, where are all these? Because they're watching it on a closed circuit TV. Are these cameras that are in Deadpool's eyes? Like, where are these
Right.
cameras
Yeah.
when they're entering
They
Like-
must be.
commands
That's like a
into him
Deathlock
too?
kind
Like-
of
Right.
thing.
Decapitate.
And
You know?
and the premise is not like far out, but what's far out is that he's like on this old MS-DOS program and he's just like literally typing in decapitate.
No, he typed,
Yeah.
he had to type in the words.
Yeah, don't you think you would have had a microphone or something?
Right.
Like
Something, yeah.
Yeah.
Or just
Voice-
kill.
He types,
voice to type kind of thing would have been.
types in the
It's-
word decapitate.
It is 1979.
It was 1979. Oh,
True.
But
So it had to be so
but all the
deliberate.
technology we're working with though is it is secret shadow government.
Yeah.
It would have been a mic would have been nice if he was like just cut
No,
his
but
fucking
you're right.
head off.
I needed Al
Yeah.
to tell me it was 1970.
Yeah, I
like they played around with their technology a lot.
Mhm.
They did, and nobody
I
looked.
don't mean the fantastical shit like putting adamantium on you. I mean like TVs and computers.
Well, and
yeah.
and people like
Decapitate.
and nobody was dressed era appropriate. They all just looked like they were
Yeah.
generic movie person from the 2000s.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, all right. Wade goes up there. He has teleportation and laser eyes. Jimmy blocks. Then let's see. Victor shows up. They fight Wade together. Then Jimmy blocks the laser eyes with his claws. And then
which is my big question because Cyclops'
Yeah.
ability is to push things with his powers. He's always pushing
Oh.
through. So
Yeah.
like refracting the light with the adamantium doesn't really make sense because he'd get hit and tossed into the ocean. You know,
Right.
but it's like it's absorbing it. Like it's not flying off in another direction. It's like the claws are absorbing the heat of it.
which was
Yeah.
their Rube Goldberg device to heat up his blades so that he could then
That's
cut
right.
through the adamantium. Oh.
Yeah.
Of his, the adamantium
Yeah.
got hot, then he could cut through the adamantium spine of
Yeah.
Wade Wilson and cut his head off.
Like, that's why they did it that way, but it doesn't make sense.
No.
I don't know.
Yeah.
None of this makes sense.
And it doesn't make sense because at least in the movies, I know they were rivals sort of anyways because of Gene, but in the movies they certainly make it seem like they're evenly matched, and that's why they don't fuck with each other too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, just in this one little like, oh, he just has to put his hands up, and he's no longer vulnerable to Scott's power.
Mhm.
The other thing with the laser eyes, because they're fucking laser eyes at this point.
Yeah.
When his eyes turn red, he gets the
little-
iconic diamonds around his eyeballs in black.
Right.
Those
like,
are the
that's
Deadpool
weird.
diamonds.
Like it's fan service. Like,
Oh,
yeah,
right, yeah.
you got his mask.
I
He's Deadpool now.
Didn't even
It's like,
catch that. Jeez.
I did
yeah.
catch that.
It's
yeah.
so dumb. It's the stupidest thing in addition to all the other stupid things, like, did you think people were going to enjoy that? Like, that
it was a reshoot because originally he had Betty Davis eyes.
Right? And then before that, it was the Eye of the Tiger.
Yeah, so it went through some these are what's the X for? 10 eyes. We did this 5 times.
So, all right. So Victor runs away. The cooling tower collapses. Jimmy is saved from the collapsing tower by Gambit. I don't know if the tower would have actually really hurt him much.
No.
Then he sends
it
Gambit.
would hurt, but
He sends Gambit away to help the kids escape, and Gambit does literally nothing in the time he's sent away and comes back.
where the fuck did Gambit land the plane? Did he land it on like
In New
continental
Jersey.
New Jersey, and then like hitch a ride, take a taxi over
No,
there?
I think it was a water plane because at the end they show a water plane taking off.
Yet there
that's right.
is a
Then-
bridge where
Then
they
why
need
didn't
a
he
bridge.
just land it previously and they both snuck onto the island
It
together?
wouldn't look cool. Wouldn't look cool. Wolverine just has to be like, "Yo, I got to jump later."
No,
Hey,
this
here's
movie
this
wants
bitch.
us. This movie wants us to believe that it was easier to explain that there was a meltdown on that island than this fight, and that's easier to explain than the fact that there was no power coming from 3 Mile Island
At all. Right.
for all those years.
Well, and then I got to backtrack to the corny ass Sabretooth line where he's like, "No one gets to kill you but me," and then they have that like
Oh, yeah.
Stallone Apollo Creed moment where they're like, "Yeah, brother,
Back to back.
Yeah,
super
that's right.
fucking
Back to back.
masculine, do some
That's right.
masculine shit." Yeah,
Yeah,
and I was like,
respect you.
damn.
recall, because that's what they did in the trench warfare thing, right?
Back to back, yeah.
Yeah,
That's how they used to do it.
they did.
They're out of guns, and you had
That's
the
what they did
bayonet,
in
motherfucker.
Vietnam before they got.
Oh yeah, when they
George
were
Marshall?
arrested.
Yeah. Mhm.
Well, until Jimmy woke up one day,
Yeah, that was
like-
their tactic.
Do a
it
little
was
back
like,
to
this is
back.
fucked up.
All
you
right.
know, we've been killing people since 1840.
All right, so this is the point. Okay, this is the point where Stryker decides that he's going to shoot Wolverine in the head, and he explicitly states he's doing it to give him amnesia.
That's it.
Yeah, that's all.
He specifically knows shooting him in the head will give him amnesia specifically.
With these bullets.
He
In the
knows
comics,
it won't
though,
kill him.
Adamantium bullets will kill him.
Right.
Which he had the bullets made. He had the little case for the gun made with a nice velvet lining.
Yeah,
and-
dude, he had to have someone do that for him. And
yeah, and adamantium bullets. So stupid.
Shooting-
So stupid.
So if
Even like a Wolfman type thing. Like they were trying to do that like he's a werewolf or some shit.
but
But I mean,
besides,
I could see them saying, "We've got adamantium bullets. That's the best chance we've got. I'm taking this
kill
thing."
him. Right.
Yeah.
But
But he's
to
like,
say it explicitly, like it's going to remove his memories.
like
Yeah.
they
what?
could have just shown that and not told us.
yeah.
By
You know,
saying
'cause
it's
we-
specific.
Right. Yes.
By-
It could have been an after effect of being, like, oh shit, it didn't kill him. But
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
But
right.
no.
He knew.
Yeah.
Somehow shooting you in the in your a random part of your brain. He doesn't know where that bullet's going to hit in his brain.
No.
That's the
did the
dumbest
bullet
shit
go
I've
through?
ever
The
heard
bullet
in
in there?
any movie ever. I have
Yeah,
never
man.
heard.
Yeah.
Still there, and it wasn't a bullet hole. It was the bullet. You know how we've seen him push bullets out of him
Yeah.
before?
Yeah.
I was waiting for that to happen.
it never came
He
out.
didn't push it out, but it was there. But it wasn't a bullet hole. You could see the silver. It was
It's just a
Strange.
dent. He's like
maybe.
he's like got a golf ball little indent on his head.
Yeah, because Stryker's like, I covered his bones in this metal, but I'm gonna shoot him with it.
All right, so
make him forget.
yeah, so he shoots Jimmy. Yeah, it's gonna make him forget. So
Forget everything.
Jimmy's unconscious. So then Kayla touches Stryker. She tells him to walk 500 miles, then walk 500 more.
Oh, jeez.
Classic.
Classic.
Um,
Classic Jimmy. No, I'm.
then
Why did Stryker only shoot him twice? Also, don't you think he'd have been like, fuck this, man. I'm just gonna try and kill him. I don't want to
Yeah.
just remember his memories.
Well,
Maybe if I get him in the eye socket, that'll do the trick.
He only had 6 bullets. He used 3. He like shot him in the back twice, then shot him in the chest, and then twice in the head. And he had 1 more for Kayla.
So he knew it wouldn't kill him. He knew that it would erase his memories of shot in the head, but he still puts a couple slugs in his bag. Just, I don't know what.
just to take him
To
down,
show
I
that
guess.
he's,
Yeah.
the, he's the big money spender.
Yeah, you think he'd have like another gun that he could just shoot him to get his attention? He just kept getting his attention. You know?
Yeah.
Right.
I should have made more bullets.
Or I should have listened to myself when I knew these bullets were futile.
So, all right, the kids are then rescued by a Professor X-shaped egg-faced man.
It's a pod person.
Dude, he looks like a cutscene from Resident Evil 2. Like, that's all I thought was like,
Why
this is the
the
cool
Patrick
part of the video
Stewart?
game.
Like 006 from GoldenEye.
Yeah. Oh, it was.
Well, and it's not like he has a face that's been through hard living. Like even Ian McKellen looks old, but like Patrick Stewart, when this movie was made, you didn't have to de-age him. You could,
And I mean,
if you weren't going to go McAvoy, if you weren't going to show a totally younger professor, you could have just had Patrick Stewart.
we got his voice at a few moments in Scott's head. Go left, go right. What's the Cupid shuffle? I forget the rest.
Cupid shuffle, you at that prison.
Slide it on back. Yeah.
But I mean, we could have just gotten the back of his head, a pinstripe blue and gray suit kind of thing, and a gold floaty chair, and said like, "Come here, children."
Yeah,
like the creep that he is.
We also got Xavier on 2 legs.
Yeah, he was
wow.
standing.
Walking.
Right. He was already chairbound
But
by then.
yeah, but his weird smooth egg head. So all right.
He's the walrus, though.
Yeah, he is.
You got screwed.
Ugh. All
That's
right.
a line from this movie. I didn't make that up.
So all right. So then Gambit heads back. He's gotten out of the way of the plot points for long enough that he can go back to Jimmy and find him with amnesia. It's the kind of amnesia you get when you get shot in the head.
Yeah.
Tupac is alive. He just has amnesia. And
He just
wandering.
doesn't know. Yeah, he's at the Galleria in Glendale. He's just walking around.
Exactly. He just got out of the car and walked to a casino and just started working.
He just doesn't know.
Oh, I knew-
he knows enough.
That actually
It's
reminds.
not-
I'm sorry. I was just gonna say that actually reminds me, Josh. The world premiere of this film. It was done. There was a contest, and they had people go on their website to guess what city they thought this movie was going to be premiered in, and the winning city was Tempe, Arizona.
Really?
Yeah,
Tempe deserves it. They deserve it.
Yeah.
Tempe.
Yep. It's fake meat, fake town.
yeah. All right. So they leave the island together, finding Kayla dead. Jimmy's like, I don't know her.
Who is that white lady?
Sure ain't the fucking moon, that's for sure.
She might be a trickster. I don't know. I don't know that shit.
They leave just in time for the police to arrive, and then roll credits.
To arrive on 3 Mile Island.
Yeah.
Well, there's a post-credit
There was
scene.
there's a meltdown. There's no radiation.
There's
Wait,
two
there's 2?
post-credit scenes and a
there
third
are
that
2.
got cut that I think that I don't
That
know
storm?
where it was supposed to be, but the first post-credit scene is Stryker walking down the highway. He gets arrested for killing the general.
He's all,
I didn't even watch the
Bojangles.
first credit scenes. I
missed that one.
Yeah.
Killed Bojangles.
That was really early in the credits. And we see that the toes of his shoes are worn through and bloody, but the soles of his shoes are just fine.
Yes.
It's just fine. Yeah, so he walks
'Cause
heel to toe then.
Tippy toes.
well, he was
walks
heel.
He was,
tippy toes.
he was
tippy toes.
ballerinaing down the road.
Yeah, he was. She's like, I'm going to control your mind now.
And then in the
I'm going to wait out this nuclear reactor set you're building.
yeah. Then in the post credits scene, Logan's just drinking in a bar somewhere in Asia, it seems like. And
Well, Japan, because that's where it picks up in his storyline. He becomes a
that's
samurai.
right. That's right. And the waitress
And
says,
he's on the road
waitress is
to
like,
know.
are you drinking to forget? And he says, to remember, actually.
Bum,
Like
bum, bum.
God, I
It doesn't
hate
She's
really
like,
work
that never
way,
works.
though. Yeah. I've done a lot of research. It just doesn't work
It
that
just
way.
doesn't. I've tried so much.
And I don't know if in the
All the
original
Roman numerals.
I don't know if in the original theatrical version there was this one or where it went, but I found online there was a post-credit sequence with Deadpool where
Oh, really?
where there's a hand coming out of the rubble and it finds Deadpool's head, and then Deadpool's eyes open and he goes shh, and that's it.
Wait, does he have a mouth that's open?
Yeah. How does
Or does he put his finger over his non-existent
No,
mouth?
his butthole can whistle?
I think there's a non-existent mouth, but the finger goes over it and you hear a shush.
Uh,
Oh, jeez, dude.
Oh.
This Deadpool looked
well,
like...
if they had treated him right, that would have worked.
Mhm.
I could see them recovering the character enough by just
That's
cutting the
what I
mouth
meant,
open
yeah.
and being like, yeah, he's Deadpool
Yeah.
now. He just looks real stupid underneath the mask, and he has these stupid swords that he cuts off or something. He's like, can you remove these so I can carry them?
Yeah.
I never liked
Easier.
that. Yeah.
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 Makes wiping difficult.
makes everything difficult.
Everything.
honestly. Yeah.
Except for
He
barbecue.
like can't reach a doorknob to open it because he's got this stupid blade poking out of his arm. It's like, fuck,
Cutting
man.
through it. It's all
Oh,
Edward
dude.
Scissorhands
Just
when he's
cutting
at
door
Home Alone.
handles off.
He has Ryan's sword hands.
Yeah, that's him.
So yeah, that's the movie. Let's see. I only have one unanswered question, which we didn't cover already, which was Stryker was mentioning getting rid of his memory way early, like even before they adamantiumed him. Why didn't he do it then when he was like tied up in the adamantium thing before he became invincible?
Yeah. Yeah.
And what was he erasing at that point? What memories?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the memories
don't
of
He
know.
willingly served in those wars. That's all I'm saying.
yeah.
He, like,
Memories
willingly
of
came to
Lagos or Nigeria. Memories of him walking away.
The memories of the
Hating
night
Stryker.
the night they spent together.
Yeah.
That
Stryker is really just
Cincinnati
his
night.
burned lover this whole time.
Right.
Is that what it is? Jimmy. Oh, Jimmy.
He's
I
just
have,
spreading brie on a cracker with one claw, feeding it to him. Just,
Then he sticks it on the end.
Feeds it to him.
Eating strawberries and grapes off the end of a blade. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Al.
Yes, please.
These misty watercolor.
2 unanswered questions.
What you got, Al?
If Thomas Logan is their shared father, why is Sabretooth going by Victor Creed?
Oh.
Thank you for asking.
Good question. Why isn't-
He was a big fan of the Rocky movies.
Yeah.
Victor Balboa just
yeah.
doesn't have the same kind of
Victor Balboa.
Was
The best injury lawyer in San Bernardino.
Oh, God.
what's your other one, Al?
Does Wolverine have adamantium teeth?
Oh.
See,
Well, I mean, they're not shiny, so.
but they're bones.
Just regrows them, I guess.
They're outside bones.
But like we see his teeth, and they don't look like adamantium.
They just look like normal teeth. They don't look like his skull when it's cut open.
Yeah, scraped
Good
open.
point.
Huh?
Good point.
He should have gotten adamantium teeth.
That would have been really cool, actually.
That would have been awesome when he, yeah.
The
I
wish
like
I had
what's
adamantium
his name?
teeth.
Lockjaw
Jaws from Moonraker.
or Jaws. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lockjaw's the big dog.
So, all right. Are you guys ready to rank this movie?
Well,
Yeah, where's Catwoman at?
Let's save it for next time.
yeah.
Catwoman. Brian asked about Catwoman. Catwoman is at 76.
I don't know if it's that bad.
It's pretty
Yeah,
bad.
That would make it worse than Underdog and The Shadow.
Batman and Robin, maybe.
Yeah, that's.
League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, it had sort of the same amount of disappointment in character development.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's up
around
at
that area.
62. Above that, we got Steel.
Because if you were just going for an action blockbuster, it was probably satisfying. But as someone who's even read a little bit of comic books, it's just
I
This
don't.
was why
infuriating.
This is why the Rotten Tomato review we read at the beginning shocked me, because the guy said like 5 stars. Only a true comic book nerd can appreciate this
Could
movie.
appreciate
It's
it,
like,
yeah.
No, a true comic book nerd hates this movie.
Well, also,
opposite.
I just feel like even like it just as a big blockbuster movie, it fails because its internal logic fails constantly.
Yeah.
Right.
Constantly, yeah.
Well,
There's no
I will
time.
say from the comic book fan point of view kind of thing, like there are a lot of bad comic books and comic book runs out there, and I would count this amongst them. You know,
Yeah.
this is not good or exemplary of film or comic books or
Yeah.
No, I think it detracts from. I think it takes away from Wolverine knowing his name is Jimmy.
Yeah. Yes.
or knowing anything about his backstory.
Right. Yes, exactly.
Knowing
Right,
that there's
it's
a
the
woman
Darth
who
Vader shit.
called
It's
him the
like-
moon and shit or whatever.
Right. The trickster.
This, you know what, to me though, I
Older
had
with the Badgers.
this is the bizarro Revenge of the Sith, because Revenge of the Sith did a really good job of like, oh, look at all these loose threads, we can tie them all together and it'll lead right into this next movie. Like, it wasn't necessarily a good thing for Star Wars as a whole, but it did a good job of connecting all those things. This missed every possible thread that it could have touched in any way. Like
And
Victor's
frayed some
brother,
more.
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
like the first scene we see in X-Men is Victor and Wolverine fighting in Canada, and Victor's not like, oh shit, it's Jimmy.
Yeah.
Yeah. What wars were they?
Yeah, like
Hmm.
all these fucking wars together.
Yeah.
Was that the Canadians?
Yeah, why weren't they fighting with the Canadian Mounties or something? Like, why weren't they
fled
in the
Canada.
Against the British.
Yeah.
like?
Yeah, why'd they join the
were they
American
in the
Civil
Civil
War?
War?
That makes no sense.
Yeah. Yeah, there was
Ah.
a Canadian Civil War, certainly.
Fuck this movie.
Yeah. Fuck it.
I don't know. So, okay, we mentioned League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Are we thinking below that or above it?
I mean, is it as bad as Punisher '89?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yes. It does as much injustice. I don't know if we said it on there, but we're right. It's like somebody came in with an idea with characters and universes they wanted to expand, and they got shouted down by people who were like, I don't know, Ryan Reynolds.
Right.
Like that's what they were interested in. Leaf Schreiber, explosions.
Yeah.
Because the producers all got involved. The studio got involved. I know I don't really have any skin in the ranking game, but if I were going to put it up against League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, me personally, I was more disappointed than that. But I also wasn't
Same
invested
here.
in League.
Yeah, that's true. That's, you're not as invested in League as
I
you
was
are in
like
Wolverine in general.
excited for Wolverine. I was super
Yeah.
excited. Yeah.
Yeah.
On my wedding day, I was like, I'd rather be watching Wolverine
Well,
right now.
And bless his heart, Hugh Jackman sells it every time
Oh,
he's
yeah.
been Wolverine on
He's a
screen.
good Wolverine.
He
Yeah.
sells it, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So it's disappointing he had to do this.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is worse than League.
Do we want to
Yeah.
stick it between? Go ahead, Al.
Oh, I think you were about to finish my point. Stick it after League above Sharkboy and Lavagirl.
Sure.
Sound good to everybody?
Yeah.
Yeesh.
All right, let's do it then. Here, X-Men Origins Wolverine, number 63 out of 83. So that's it for this week, guys. Next week, we are going to be watching and discussing our 84th movie, Push. I have not seen that one, so
Me neither.
Same.
Who is in this? Is this
I think Chris Evans might be in
Skywalker?
it. Oh no! That was we already did that one, didn't we?
Leap or
Leap or yeah,
Jump.
Leaper.
Jumper,
Jumper.
yeah.
jumping ain't easy. Might as well jump.
Jumping ain't easy. Might as well jump. No, this one has Chris. I thought it had Chris Evans in it. Yeah, Chris Evans.
How many superhero movies was he in before
lot.
he became?
A lot. Yeah, a number of them. Yeah, that's it. Next week we'll be looking at 2009's Push. So thank you everybody for joining us this week on Harmless Phosphorescence. This has been your host, Rose Smiley, saying cuckoo ka-choo.
I'm Josh Cece, and my mutant power is to try to care.
Wake me up when it's over. Oh, thank God. It's finally over. I'm Brian Lesh.
I'm Jerry Wagner, and I shitted on Wolverine's dick.
Become a patron to understand.
Yeah.
I'm Alec Weber, and this movie deflated my adamantium boner.
Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Thanks
Bye.
guys. Bye.
Thanks, guys.